on the deal struck with Madlanga. Oren Singh reports.
Brigadier Julius Mkonazi
For the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry this morning, where he will be expected to answer questions around the deal struck with Madlanga. Oren Singh reports.
Brigadier Julius Mkonazi has been painted as a law unto himself, taking unlawful decisions and leading a rogue unit within the EMPD. He's also accused of enjoying protection from his close associate, former Ekurhuleni city manager Imogen Mashazi. But while Mashazi distanced herself from any ties to Mkonazi when testifying before the Madlanga Commission this week, previous testimony suggests the pair were close. Former Ekurhuleni head of employee relations, Ekurhuleni, alleged that disciplinary charges against Mkonazi in relation to the Madlanga deal were halted in June 2023. He told the commission that Mashazi shielded Mkonazi from any form of discipline.
Senior management, for the first time, was hell-bent on protecting an employee, regardless of procedures of the municipality and processes of the municipality.
Mkonazi was officially suspended by the city of Ekurhuleni last month. Oren Singh, Eyewitness News.
Alleged crime kingpin Katiso Katie Molefe will return to the Alexandra Magistrates Court this morning for the centralization of his dockets. Molefe is accused of several crimes, including the murder of popular musician Opa Sifoka, known as DJ Somebody. He is also alleged to have orchestrated a hit on Vereniging engineer Armand Swart. Khomozo Modise reports.
Over the last couple of months, Katiso Molefe's charge sheet has only become longer. Initially, Molefe was charged with the hit on Armand Swart, a Vereniging engineer who was shot in a case of mistaken identity. But he's now also charged with the murders of musicians DJ Somebody and DJ Ventos. His co-accused Michael Puletau, Diego Mabusela and Mosakekana have also been charged with the murder of businessman Don Ndleni. The crimes have been linked through ballistic evidence. This morning, the court will hear whether the case is ready to be transferred to the High Court for trial. Khomozo Modise, Eyewitness News.
Dada Morero and Loyiso Masugu are in the race for the ANC chairperson position in Johannesburg as the party's regional elective conference begins today. Morero is seeking re-election but faces strong competition from Masugu, who has also drawn considerable support. The three-day conference will elect new ANC leaders who will steer the party's Johannesburg region for the next 3 years. Alfara Mushwana takes a look.
Dada Morero's faction, which is informally known as Fire Brigade, is going up against Loyiso Masugu's faction, which is commonly referred to as Spirit. Branch nominations show that the contest is tight, with both Morero and Masugu neck and neck in terms of branch support. However, well-placed sources have told EWN that the race may be tougher than expected for Morero, as more branches are believed to have shifted their support to Masugu overnight. For the position of secretary, incumbent Sasabona Manganya is likely to secure another term, as he's contesting against the less supported Lebogang Chabalala. The deputy secretary position is shaping up to be the most hotly contested, with Nomoya Mnisi, a close ally of Morero, Tutugile Zuma and Lerato K. Bob all vying for the role. The conference is scheduled to run from today through to Friday. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
And the U.S. says it will continue to attack what it claims are Venezuelan-struck boats, despite an outcry over strikes that critics say amount to extrajudicial killings. Washington has come under fire, particularly over an incident in which U.S. forces launched a follow-up strike on the wreckage of a vessel that had already been hit, reportedly killing 2 people. Both the White House and Pentagon have sought to distance themselves or Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth from that decision, which some U.S. lawmakers have said could be a war crime, instead pinning the blame on the admiral who directly oversaw the operation. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has accused Washington of using drug trafficking as a pretext for imposing regime change in Caracas. U.S. leader Donald Trump says the attacks could intensify.
I want those boats taken out. And if we have to, we'll attack on land also, just like we attack on sea. And there's very little coming in by sea. I think we've knocked out over 90% of it. There's very little, and I understand that.
Gold is trading at $4,205.99 an ounce. The rand is at 17.09 to the dollar, 22.62 to the pound, 19.90 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $62.51 a barrel.
And in the traffic infoways, there's a slow-moving traffic along Winnie Mandela Drive between Leslie and Witkoppen Road. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North between Vincent Magwenya Road and the Baklu interchange. That's due to roadworks.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 27 degrees. The breaking story in EWN this hour. City of Ekurhuleni Head of Legal Kemi Bihari has been suspended for failing to carry out disciplinary action against EMPD top cop Julius Mkonazi.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang, bonjour, bienvenue. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela show. It's Wednesday, the 3rd of December. We're almost there, my friends. Almost. The weekend is nearby, and December is nearby too. Because it's not December until you're Decembering, right? Like my December normally starts around the 16th of December. That's when I'm Decembering. That's when I really feel it. Or have you started Decembering? Are you feeling it? And are you buying gifts already? Is your Christmas tree out? And if you don't celebrate Christmas, how do you escape the festivities? By the way, so do you send gifts for your children's teachers? I was shocked the other day when I visited a friend and his wife was busy preparing gifts for their daughter's teacher. Their daughter is about, 7, 8 or so? And I honestly didn't know that this is something that happens. And yes, I went to completely different schools. Like, we don't do this in the village. And maybe that explains why some of our teachers in our rural schools are not so invested or don't feel appreciated. But I was fascinated by this idea of gifting your children's teachers. Like, won't they feel the need to pass your child or do something extra to assist them because the child's parents have bought them gifts? I mean, sure, they should do that, right? Extra classes or do better to assist the child as a matter of responsibility. That's standard. But I feel like there is pressure to appease when there are gifts involved. And I wonder how you feel about it. And look, I know this is apparently a usual thing, but I mean, I really didn't know about this. And when we were having a conversation about it this morning, the producers were not surprised because they know that this is something that happens. I have never seen anything like this. And I do think it's a nice gesture, but I really thought a lot about, I wonder if this doesn't put pressure on the teachers. So I want to know if you buy your child's teachers gifts towards the end of the year. Are you that kind of a parent? And why do you do it? I heard that there are some families that buy gifts for teachers even on Valentine's. On Valentine's Day. Are you kidding me? So parents out there, help me understand. Teachers as well who receive these gifts. How does it work? Again, I do think it's a lovely gesture. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. 011-883-0702 is the number to dial. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Bongani Bingo was very clear that he doesn't buy gifts for her children's teachers. Do you do that and why? Let's talk. And can we give Advocate Sello some flowers? Because we need to give her flowers from the Madlanga Commission. So if you remember, Dr. Imogen Mashazi told the commission that she's willing to bring in a witness, one of the women who was allegedly sexually assaulted by the suspended EMPD chief Jabulani Mapiyeye. Remember, Dr. Mashazi claimed that Mapiyeye preyed on junior staff who slept with him to gain promotions. But when she was asked, what did you do about it? nothing except to start a program to empower women. She was also asked for evidence of this and she didn't have any. And now she says, I have someone who can come and tell you how she was violated by my PA. I mean, this is someone who was allegedly raped by my PA. And advocate Sillo called her out for using the rape victim for her own ulterior motives.
You omitted to draw to the attention of the commissioners yesterday that the rape charge that you spoke so often about was in fact withdrawn.
And I indicated that the victim should be afforded an opportunity to come and speak for herself, which she agrees.
And I think that is
about
correct.
The rape and the case.
That is
and
correct.
I'm not going to talk about it because I was not there.
Then you simply shouldn't have brought it to this commission if you can't talk about these things. It's only appropriate that you shouldn't have. But you did. And you spent time on your paragraph 50.1 where you unpacked these issues.
And I supported my statement by saying I will request that the victim should come and respond for herself. I remember vividly that I supported and qualified my statement when I made these allegations that the victim will therefore come and speak for herself.
Okay, perhaps I'll stop it there. You brought up these issues, and I submit, for your own, and forgive me if my choice of words is not right, ulterior purposes. And when you are confronted with them, and you are asked to clarify, then your response that the victim must come. This commission is not interested in subjecting victims to secondary abuse, which appears to be a solution to the problem as far as you are concerned. If you couldn't speak to them as a city manager, a person of your seniority, involving junior members in the force, you ought to have applied better judgment before you drag their names before this commission. And when you can't answer the questions further, you then say they must come themselves and speak to these issues. They never invited themselves here. And why should the commissioners do? That's highly responsible of you, Dr. Mashazi.
Can I remind you that in terms of the invite to this commission, I was afforded an opportunity to call any witness if I want to. And I have chosen to call this witness to come and testify on the issues that I've raised, especially the issue around rape and the issue around harassment.
But
unless I was limited not to invite certain...
No, you ask witnesses to be called to speak on your behalf. An allegation of rape by a junior member in the force has got nothing to do with you. And that witness can't come and testify to that issue because you did not suffer that indignity. So you misunderstood the rule, because clearly you understood it to mean you will throw mud at everybody, and if it doesn't stick, you will get a witness drag some witness out of a hole to present them before this commission so that your personal objectives are met. That's not what the rule intended. It intended for you to be able to call witnesses in your defense. These issues have got nothing to do with your defense. Perhaps that's what your program does. You used a junior's misfortune for your own purposes before this commission. It's sad enough. I don't want to engage on it. And I think as we leave here today, you should really go reflect and engage with this poor lady and stop using her or attempting to use her, because we will not permit you to use her in this environment. But that please don't try and use her for these purposes.
Oh, Advocate Matlape, let's give her flowers, Shem. Yeah, I've got nothing more to even add to what she's had to say. What a brilliant work she's done throughout this week. At 10 o'clock, we're going to be taking you live to the Madlanga Commission because the suspended EMPD Deputy Chief, Julius Mkonazi, who has been described by some of his former colleagues as a law unto himself, is on the stand today. This is the man who fitted blue lights unlawfully on Ket Matlala's vehicles. In fact, he he referred to Matlala as his brother when an IPID report found that his decision to bless Ket Matlala with blue lights was an abuse of power and that he was dishonest. He was protected by the powers that be, including by the former city manager, Dr. Imogen Mashazi, who testified over the last 2 days at the commission. And since Mkonazi's suspension, there have been a series of allegations against him. So today, he is subpoenaed to the commission, so we hear from him. We'll take you there live at 10. 11 o'clock, we do our Listener's Choice feature. Today, we're discussing the Epstein files. What are they? One of our listeners has asked that we get someone who can explain that. And then we wrap up the show at 11 o'clock with the sharing space. That's the show coming up over the next 3 hours.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Hi Clement, I'm an educator, and it is wonderful when we get gifts from the children just to say thank you for the year. It doesn't have to be an expensive thing. It could just be a card, actually, a letter of appreciation. I have worked in private schools where we get very lavish gifts, although that was back in the old days. Nowadays they're a little less extravagant. But yeah, it's really wonderful. And no, I've never felt any obligation to pass a child just because there was a thank you from them. It's not it's not an exchange for marks. Thanks for the great show, Clement. It's Lisa. I'm driving through Melville.
Oh, Lisa in Melville, thank you for that. And look, that's good to know that as an educator, you've never felt the pressure to pass the child. It's just something I've been thinking about. So let me hear from more educators. I want to hear from more parents as well. Do you buy your children's teachers gifts? And at what level of school? Is it only in primary school because your bundles of joy are a lot to deal with? Or do you do the same even when your children are in high school? Lebo, you're calling us from Johannesburg. Good morning.
Clement, how are you?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
I wanted to say, just on that point that you just mentioned, kids, if we're honest, I'm not saying we don't love our kids, but kids are very exhausting.
Oh, they are. And I don't even have one. I'm already tired.
Yeah, I mean, so if we're able to, as a token of appreciation for the teachers being patient with our kids, our bundle of joy, even though they're exhausting, I think, it goes a long way. I know my wife does it on a yearly basis, and I've also done, some contributions towards that. But it's not necessarily expensive gifts.
Is it?
It could be like a cup for, drinking coffee.
Yeah.
It could be a card. It doesn't have to be something expensive.
Every single year, Lebo.
Every single year.
And what happens if your child fails, the teacher the child fails something? Let me not take the teacher fails the child. But do you not feel like this one won't try Ella? We bought her a gift. We bought her a gift and now our child is failing.
Look, my son is 8 and my daughter is 6.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. We've never experienced one of our kids failing. I don't even know if kids at that level fail. But
would you take offense though, Lebo, honestly speaking?
Not really. I'm one person who's a firm believer of being accountable for the results that you get out of whatever you put in at the end of the year.
Okay.
So I would want my kids also to be taught that.
Okay, Lebo, thank you so much for sharing that with us in Johannesburg.
Hi, Clement. As if you know, yesterday a friend of mine who lost her sister and automatically became a mother to the sister's child. Yesterday she went to school and she came back and she was telling me how bad she felt. She saw a lot of parents carrying these, gifts. I was like to her, you know what, my friend, I've never done that. Even though I'm a parent, please don't feel bad. I only now, because for instance, my son was doing grade 12 this year, and he said on his last day, Mom, please buy me the flowers and the chocolate. Then I buy my son, or say at school, maybe it was a Mother's Day or Women's Day. Only when the child is asking me, say to buy a chocolate or something for a special day for a teacher, I do that, but it does not come from me. It is Lindeni here in Kyalami.
Okay, I see. Because I heard that on Valentine's Day, some of the teachers actually ask for the gifts, from the kids. Like, oh, it's Valentine's coming. What are you guys going to get me? And then the kids then would come home and say, Mommy, Daddy, it's Valentine's. Let's get Mrs. Bonga this and that. Yeah? Is that what the kids do? Now on Valentine's, we must buy you a gift. Look, don't get me wrong. I do think it's a lovely gesture. And I think, especially when your kids are in primary school, they are a lot to deal with. And there's someone who has to be with them for like 7 hours. That's a lot. And they deserve to be appreciated for that. I just think sometimes it puts you in a bit of an awkward situation where you may feel like, yeah, what's an expectation here? David, you are in Mokopane. Good morning.
Hi, Clement.
Sure,
that is a no-no. Ne? It's a complete no-no, especially in the world that we live in today. Just imagine, it's like providing a gift to a procurement manager in a company where you are doing business with.
Yeah, but the teachers are dealing with a lot, David. These kids are a lot, and you want to just show appreciation.
Certainly, the kids are a lot. The kids are a lot. But if because a gift is a gift, a motor vehicle can be a gift. Anything can be a gift. And then I give you a big gift for lack of a better word, and then my kid underperforms. How am I going to be objective?
Yes.
You won't be objective.
Yeah.
I give you a gift I take you to watch to England to watch Arsenal when not Clement, and tomorrow my kid doesn't perform. How would you dare say, hey man? No.
Yeah. I don't think the gifts are allowed to be so extravagant, David. I don't think the gifts are allowed to be so extravagant. Like they cannot buy like too expensive of gifts.
There is no policy at schools for gifts. There are no limitations for gifts.
Okay, let's hear from the educators. I don't know, but I feel like there's no educator who would take, or maybe I'm wrong, who would take a gift like to say, oh, go watch Beyonce or Adele in the UK, or go watch Formula One, or something that costs over 5,000 Rand. Have you, as an educator, gotten a gift that costs that much? Yeah, I would feel, if I was an educator, I would feel a little uncomfortable if a gift is quite expensive.
Hi, Clement. This is Anonymous. Yes, I do have a colleague of mine who's buying gifts for his boys' teachers every December. So you see that baguette that has the biscuit, the what, the flour, mini what. So he's buying that for his kids' gifts. I mean, his kids' teachers' gifts. And then we also do it. Why we're doing it? Just a festive spirit. You know, most it's Christmas. So it's one of those.
Good morning, Clement. The time when I was working at Laratong Hospital, the families of the patients, they used to bring us some cake or some food to eat. So the following day, they will come anytime, even if it's not visiting time, they will come or they will stay beyond visiting time. I think it was not the gift, they were just bribing us so that they can have a special treatment. Siamo from Rodiport, bye-bye.
Siamo, they were bribing you guys. I mean, you bring cake and flowers, and the next thing I come here when it's not visiting hours, or I overstay, even when the visiting hours are done. That ain't a bribe. It is really a bribe. I think it is really a bribe.
Clement, I'm the parent that always buys gifts for my daughter's homeroom teacher. She's in grade 8 this year, and I've always done it since she was in grade R. And I think it's just a token of appreciation, really, because these teachers do so much for our children. Yeah, man. I think it's just an innocent gift and nothing more. This is Kanya from Centurion.
Morning, Clement and team. Tabang from Benoni. Regarding the presents for the tutors, I did it and I'm still doing it. my daughter, when she left crash, we availed a present or a gift for the teacher who took care of her. Grade 1, grade 2, we're still doing it to the homeroom teacher. It gets problematic when the child now is being taught by many teachers, when now your grade 4s and 5s and so forth, because by only appreciating the homeroom teacher, it may be prejudice to those other teachers who are also taking care of the child. So to mitigate that, what I do with my daughter, she communicates when there's a teacher birthdays, and we bless them with gifts during their birthdays. But as for the year end, no. Especially when she is in that level where many teachers are responsible for her education.
Interesting. David, you're in Pretoria. Good morning.
Hi, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Good, thanks. Clement, I'm a university lecturer, and I've been lecturing for 13 years now. And I lecture about 1,500 students a year. In the 13 years I've lectured, I've only received 2 cards, and I still have them in my office. So those parents that send their kids to their teachers with gifts, please do that even to lecturers, please. We need those gifts because, trust me, your children are a lot.
Eh? Oh, David, I second that. I know how much I was a lot myself at university. So, are there parents who gift university lecturers as well? Izzy, you're in Midrand. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement.
Hey, Tara.
How are you, sir?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Good. Look, for me, rewarding educators as parents is a complete no-no. Remember, there's a thin line between a bribe and a gift. So for me, if you would give an educator or reward an educator before my child would have passed a particular class, that becomes a bribe.
So maybe wait then for the results.
Sorry?
So what? So are you saying maybe wait for the results, so when the report card is out, then you can maybe gift?
Then comes a gift. So timing is key, Clement.
Okay, I get you.
Timing is key.
I think
timing
I get you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Izzy. I think I get Izzy's point. Is don't gift before the report card is out. Wait for the report card, and when the child has passed or failed, you still feel the responsibility to gift, because the whole idea is to show appreciation, no? I think that's a fair point. Mohammed, you're in Johannesburg. You've been a teacher for about, 8 years?
Yes, Clement, how's it, man?
Sharp, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was in the education system for about eight or so years. Eventually, I actually started off in the school office and then moved on to actually becoming in the classroom itself. And throughout that time, whether I was in the office or in the actual classroom, we had this amazing community of between parents and teachers, and giving was just one of those things that you knew was going to happen at the end of every single year. And as a school that was growing from a very small to very large school now, it actually forced the school to actually come up with policies governing what exactly is acceptable, as we would say, as a gift. No. I would have loved tickets to do a soccer match overseas. Would have been epic. But even to be honest, we have parents that were definitely within their means to definitely go and do something like that.
Yes.
But that never was the case. But what we did have and what forced those policies were the cases where certain teachers felt like they could take it upon themselves to sort of advertise things they were looking for themselves or for their kids or stuff like that there, and then basically not say coerce parents into getting it for them, but sort of saying, I actually need this right now in my life. And so that sounds like a nice end of year gift because it meets a certain criteria for me right now in my life. And we even had cases where principals received expensive coffee machines and some really interesting things here and there. Not to say it came with anything specific, with sort of a quid pro quo, but the thing about it is that I think it's something that if we look at the country that we're in, where teachers are not paid amazingly, when a parent would like to sort of justify, thanks for looking after my kid for the whole year, go ahead and give the gift. But at the end of the day, I think what it boils down to is obviously timing. The school needs to have a policy.
Yeah.
And obviously within your means. No one should ever feel they have to do everyone else.
Yes, and I hope the teachers as well, if there are parents that have not bought them gifts, they're not going to be weird towards those parents or towards that child. Because maybe there are parents who just don't have the means to do that. But Mohammed, thank you for calling. The issue of policy then becomes important. How do you regulate things like this? Because in a society like ours, I think it is important to have some form of policy that guides this gifting. It's 9:31. Spencer, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. City of Ekurhuleni Head of Legal, Kemi Bihari, has been suspended for failing to carry out disciplinary action against EMPD top cop Julius Mkonazi. Mkonazi was recently suspended for allegedly entering EMPD into a fraudulent contract with alleged underworld figure Vusmuzi Cat Matlala. The contract saw Matlala's private security and medical companies being unlawfully issued with the city's blue and red lights. Police say security will be beefed up for prosecutors and court officials in the Senzo Mewa murder trial after an investigation revealed a plot to kill them. 3 people were removed from the courtroom where the case was being heard in Pretoria yesterday, while all 3 have been released by police after being taken in for questioning and profiling. Officers are investigating a case of conspiracy to commit murder. And the search for missing Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 will resume at the end of December, more than a decade after the plane disappeared. The Boeing 777 carrying 239 people vanished from radar screens on March 8, 2014, while en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing in one of aviation's greatest enduring mysteries. Despite the largest search in aviation history, the plane has not been found. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 10 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North. This is between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu Interchange. That's due to roadworks. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N1 North approaching Bears Nodia Drive. This is due to an earlier accident, while in Midrand, an accident reported on the N1 South. It's right near New Road. It's causing delays coming out of Olifantsfontein Road. There's also queuing traffic along the R21 North heading towards the city of Tshwane. This is due to roadworks approaching Olifantsfontein Road. And speaking of the city of Tshwane, we've got delays along the N1 South coming out of Rachel Avenue. A car stuck on the road. Please be on the lookout for that one and approach with care. More updates coming up at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Africa Milani.
Weekday mornings,
4 to 6.
You want to pick up on funerals and how we clearly are no longer regarding them with the same level of sanctity as we did in the past.
Why buy me roses when I am no longer? How do you dig up a grave? Those people remaining have got now just belief this is now a sudden black thing. You cannot be buried in an ordinary coffin because you'll be talk of the town. That is why I'm a Radio 702 listener, because you guys have got brilliant ideas.
Thank you, Linduba. Thank you. That's very, very kind of you.
Africa Milani.
4 to 6 on 702.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for general practitioners, dentists, surgeons, and other medical specialists. Ekurhuleni.
It's so nice to know the business risk is taken care of by Business Outsurance. The call center is just a dream to deal with. Very seamless, easy experience, and it just feels like the people we're talking to on the other line understand our needs.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Building a life across borders starts with choices. Visas, a second passport, citizenship, your child's education abroad. And sometimes those choices can be overwhelming. For 30 years, Sable International has simplified global mobility, including cross-border tax, forex, and wealth management, helping you make the right choices with expertise and care. Build your future beyond borders. Visit us at sableinternational.com.
Dad, can you pass me the thing?
The thing? Which thing? The one on the desk or the one in the car?
No, the thing. The small one. The thingamabob.
Ah, the thingamajig.
Yes, that's it.
Stop speaking in thingy
At Redford House Schools, we teach clarity, precision, and the confidence to own your voice. Shape your future best self. Search Redford House Schools online. An inspired school.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
24 minutes before 10 o'clock. This is the 702 open line. We're having a conversation about gifts for teachers. Is it something that you do? I got a shock of my life the other day when I was visiting a friend and his wife was preparing gifts for their daughter's teachers. And I was like, whoa, really? That's what happens? And the daughter is like quite sporty. So like you've got to also get gifts for the swimming instructor and other sporting codes. And I'm asking if this is something you do as an educator. Have you ever felt like, I'm feeling a little conflicted here because I received this cool gift, but I'm about to sign off on this failed report card. And now you're feeling conflicted. Has it ever happened to you? I've never seen anything like this. I didn't know such exists, but also I understand that I come from a completely different background in school. But these are things that you learn and you're like, interesting, and you think about them. So I'll take more of your calls and WhatsApps about that. I've also been talking about Advocate Mahlape Sello. I think we need to give her flowers, guys. She has just been brilliant at the Madlanga Commission, and I see that, in fact, she's the one that's going to be leading the evidence of the suspended EMPD Deputy Chief, Julius Mkonazi, and we're going to be taking you live to the Madlanga Commission just after the news at 10 o'clock. Here are some of the WhatsApp voice notes that came through on Advocate Sello.
Morning, Clemza. Morning, Sona, to listeners. Clemza, I would like to give kudos to the cross-examiner. This doctor thought that you would come there, make all types of allegations, unsubstantiated, without any evidence, and it will be taken on face value. She wouldn't be tested. Her evidence would not be tested. And she got a shock of her life. No, Sebenzulu advocate, Sharpa, Moses friend.
Good morning, Clement. Clement, this lady, she raised an issue that does not concern her. She was not the one who was sexually violated. It was somebody else. It was not her story to tell. And now she is saying the commission or the committee must bring this lady to come and testify as if she asked to come and testify. She is now re-traumatizing the person, putting this person in the spotlight for the entire country to know what happened to her. It was not her story to tell in the first place. There should be some sort of criminal charges that should be laid against this lady because what she did is wrong, very, very wrong.
Oh, Clement, I echo your statements. She is such a wonderful, intelligent advocate with such integrity. She did so well. And you know what? She is one of my daughter's mentors. My daughter just became an advocate a year ago, and she's been mentoring her. And I'm so proud that my daughter has been mentored by powerhouse ladies like Advocate Mahlape Sello. Thank you.
Your daughter is so lucky. It's not time for traffic. It isn't. It's time to take some more calls on 011-883-0702. Heather, you're calling us from Pretoria. What do you want to say about gifts for teachers? Good morning.
Yes, I am. I actually found about gifts for teachers, but I just want to say, Advocate Sello, I wish we could clone her.
Right.
And just put her into a whole lot of different parts of government where we are desperate for people who have integrity.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I was finding about the gifts for teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a friend who makes biscuits for the teachers, homemade biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
And she puts them into beautiful boxes with ribbons, and she sends them off to the teachers, and she's been doing this for years. And some of the teachers have actually come back and said to the kids, I'm really looking forward to my biscuits.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a beautiful gesture.
And it's nice because you don't have to spend a lot of money. And this indicates that you've taken time and trouble for that that teacher. So I just love that she does that.
And it's an equalizer, Heather, because I asked, like, what happens if you buy this one teacher this gift and you buy the other teacher this other gift that's more pricier, and they start talking amongst each other, and the other one will know that they bought me a cheaper gift. I love the biscuit idea because it's an equalizer. You can never claim that, oh, that's a favorite, that's not.
It is, and it's affordable for people who don't have a lot of money to be able to buy expensive presents.
Exactly.
They can make biscuits at home and package them nicely, and it's the thought.
There's an idea. Heather, thank you so much for bringing it up on the 702 open line. Heather is calling from Pretoria.
Oh yeah, Clement. I think it's a thing that happens when you see very expensive gifts. It does put pressure on some parents, especially in private schools, where you are struggling to keep your child there. I think another topic perhaps is when you're in the PTA or big sponsors, how the school responds to those parents. I think that is the bigger issue. The small presence to the teachers is nothing compared to that, because then you really see the differential treatment of the parents that sponsor, that volunteer all the time at school versus the parents that have to work to make sure they can pay the bills. I mean, the school bills.
Hi, Clement. I actually do give gifts. I mean, since grade 1, I'm doing engraving as side hustle. And my son's teachers have been getting gifts since grade 1. He's now going to grade 8. And I'm already planning to do one for his teacher. It's normally just small things like your key holders, cups. It's like 20 rand or stuff that I buy for like 20 rand or something. I just personalize it, make it theirs, like thanking them for, like shaping their lives and things like that. That's the message that I normally wrote. But I only do it like when I go fetch the report. So whether the kid has failed or not, nobody knows. So when I go fetch the report, I give the teacher the gift to just say thank you. And my daughter started as well in grade 1 this year. On Mother's Day, I did a glass, or I engraved a glass for the teacher. And I don't see anything wrong. It's just something to just say thank you. And yeah, Maremo in Soshanguve.
This is interesting. I'm loving it. We've got some really, really kind-hearted parents out there. This is so cool. Sifiso, you are in Kimberley. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you?
Hey, Tara. Good. How are you, sir?
I'm all right, my guy. I'm all right. So for me, I'm not conflicted. So I'm not confused about my kids, right? I have 2 daughters. I love them. But those guys are a lot.
How old are they?
So my oldest is 12 and my youngest is 9. So they talk non-stop. So I have no doubt that when they're in school, they are pretty much the same version at school that they are at home. And God bless those teachers. I mean, to be able to just take those kids and maybe 10 other versions of my daughters and just be able to just go through the day and just give them the love, give them the attention. I mean, that's a lot. So for me, gifting the teachers is just saying, I know what you're going through because I know what I'm dealing with. You know, I'm a very involved parent. We support movie nights at school when the school is trying to fundraise for lockers and all of that. We support the school libraries. We buy books. So I'm a very involved parent. And I have a very fair idea of what my children, they're a lot, brother. And so and I also understand their level of intelligence, right? So there's no way I'll bribe a teacher or I'll perceive a gift as a bribe because
your kids are capable.
I know what they're capable of and what they're not capable of. So I'm not expecting them to just miraculously pass maths now because we bought a gift.
Okay.
So for me, I think it's just just appreciating the teacher and saying, Joe, thank you for just carrying this load with me.
Yeah.
Because, man, those kids are.
So can I ask, Sviso, what if? Because there are instances where, and we've seen this in the news, where a teacher has probably scolded a child, and your child comes and says the teacher has scolded them, or they hit them with something, Nothing, hectic, but it's something you don't even do at home, like corporal punishment. What happens then if there have been issues between the teacher and the parents? Do you still feel the need to do a gift at the end of the year?
I think let's separate the issues here. So you remind me an instance that happened with my daughter, grade 2.
Yeah.
So she, like I said, they just talk a lot. So she was destructive to the other kids, and so reprimanded my daughter in a manner that I think she felt, and then we got a letter from the principal, right? And then we went to school and we sat with the teacher and we said, look, we understand. She told us her side of the story, and because we are involved parents and we don't. And another thing, I think parents must also be fair and be honest. I don't promote disrespect, right? So it's a thing that I don't promote in my house. I don't expect my kids to go to school and disrespect the teacher. I still view a teacher as umzali, an extension of me, and so we must be fair, right? So if the teacher did not have malicious intentions and did not do it out of a bad, So I think it's a fine line. I understand it's a very fine line, but at the same time, I think parents must also take responsibility.
I like that, yeah.
I
like that, Sfiso, and what a mature way to look at it. Thank you so much, Sfiso in Kimberley. Paul, I'll start with your call in Pretoria. It's 13 before 10.
7:02 afternoons
with Relebohile Maboja, 1 to 3 p.m.
From your view and perspective, how close do you think we are to having a water crisis in South Africa?
If we look at rainfall patterns across the country due to the advent of global warming and the likes, the crisis is not too far away, especially where I'm from in the Eastern Cape, where we experience low levels of rain quite frequently. So I think it's a problem or a crisis that we need to address rather sooner than later.
Rodney Louis, founder and CEO of JR Prodigy Venture.
7:02 afternoons
with Relebohile Maboja.
Let's walk the talk.
The crazy stores, got deals galore and everything you need. From tinsel presents, wrapping and a star for your Christmas tree. We've got all sorts of games and sports, many toys to buy. Stationery, arts and crafts, come on and don't be shy. No need to panic shop, we're your one-stop Christmas spot. Your table will be dressed and you will not be stressed. When Christmas Eve is here, you'll want to sing and cheer. I got everything at the crazy store and I can't wait for next year.
Hey, you never know what you might find this Christmas.
Okay, truck 7, that has 0 warning lights. Truck 8, it's just been serviced. I guess we're running like a well-oiled machine. Where would I be without MyWay's comprehensive cover for my vans and trucks? Plus, cover for my customers' orders with goods and transit insurance. I guess we'll never know.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. MyWay is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. MyWay. Live your way.
Those trusty old shoes. There for your first move out of home. That marathon training that lasted a day. The quick runs to the store. The long nights out. Yeah, they've done the most for you. But with the Street Store, they can do even more for someone else. Visit thestreetstore.org to find out more about donating your pre-loved shoes and clothes to the world's first rent-free pop-up clothing store for the homeless. Donate before December 6, 2025.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 7:02.
10 minutes before 10 o'clock. Oh, listen to this. I got a message here on our WhatsApp line from a parent who says, "Hi, Clement. We gave my daughter's teacher her gift yesterday as it was the last day for her grade at school. Her school finishes the year with a fun day for each grade. My daughter takes gifting very seriously and takes it one step further and gifts each child in her class a gift as well. We don't buy very expensive items, just small tokens for a good year." Okay, that's great. Now, daughters also, like sometimes your children would want to give the entire class. That's amazing. So one of the things that because when I went to my friend's house and the wife was busy preparing the gifts, I thought, so you have to do that? Can you imagine if the daughter said, "Please, I want to gift all my friends at school in my class"? You have to sit there and wrap these gifts. Oh, Yeah, that's a lot, guys. Having kids is a 95, I'm telling you. Paul, you're calling from Pretoria. Good morning.
Akwande Clement njani?
Isaphila njani baba?
It's good man. Ngikara topic in khamba ngayo namhlanje yamagidi. So ngemvumo yomvisit man ke ngiphambuke kancane ngoba ingikara khulu ngithi ke ngitshela abalaleli ngi-experiencing nayo. Vane senze nje nangebhesini. Lokho driver nakasiphathe kuhle ngebhesini kukhulu thina sikhamba ngophathi kwangitsho naphela unyaka nje nathi siyamuphi igift siyamkhiphela. Indodle kangangani.
Oh, country driver E1 is in London every day, or are they different drivers?
Yes. Normal about driver one unless mhlambe problem. So normal makasiphethe kuhle end of the year kunoba nemali 20 rand 50 rand esiwakhipha then siyahlanganisa then siyakhamba somthengela ama-gift. So ngiyatsho ngithi na ithepo playing kakhulu ngoba into ehle esiyitshengisayo emphakathini ukuthi lokho asiphethe kuhle lokho anginabantu abasiphethe kahle singasabi ukubanikela ama-gift.
So animnikeza ijem namachachacha.
nangabe benithombisile mhlambe kuyi-weekend namachachacha seniyangiphathela udriver into esengangani nomhoro.
Sithokoze Paul in Pretoria. Yeah, Paul is speaking isiNdebele there. So they travel by bus every morning to work, Patco bus. And he says that they also appreciate their driver. So towards the end of the year, if they've had a driver who has been transporting them well, taking care of them, they often would contribute and give him something or give her something. So I was asking them if they give them jam, because jam is quite a thing for the Ndebele people. My mom is in Ndebele, so mawuthombisa or unomsebenzi, there's a ceremony in December. The amount of jam, is it jam? Yes, yeah, get jam, ne? The amount of jam, get jam, ne? In English, jam. Yeah. So the amount of jam, guys, in the Ndebele household, yo, yeah. But it's a cultural thing. Okay, let's go to some more WhatsApp voice notes.
Hi, Clement. My wife does that every year. She's been doing that ever since we got kids. I've got 2 daughters now. She's been doing that for her teachers. This is Maxi from Pretoria. Thank you.
So when do we get gifts as presenters? Huh? If people are giving their drivers gifts, like their bus drivers gifts, if people are giving teachers gifts, I mean, if I'm entertaining you and having conversations with you every single day when you go to work, when you drop off your kids at school, when you're sitting in the office, when do I get my gifts? I wonder. Think about that.
Hi, Clement. Zubaida from Roodepoort. I'm all for gifts for teachers. Teaching is often a thankless job. They don't get appreciated. And normally the gift is given at the end of the year, right at the end when the results are already out.
Hey, morning, Clement. From long time ago, I remember in the 80s or wherever, teachers were always been appreciated for the role that they play in the community. You would find, or if teachers were being sent gifts of homegrown fruits, just to appreciate them as a big part of the community. Yeah. So, but when it comes to now, especially in private schools, obviously anything good can be turned to something else. It can be abused. But yeah, for the gifts, teachers, they should be given. They're part of the family, Teresi here for Slovas.
Good morning, Clement. Thanks for a great show as always. Clement, my daughter is attending crèche in Pretoria. And the crèche says they have a no gift policy. So they do not encourage and they do not accept gifts from parents because of many reasons. And I think you've mentioned a few of them. So they have a very strict no gift policy. So I think that's good because it alleviates the pressure from us parents to, to be sending gifts and to be bombarding them with the most expensive and the most greatest of gifts. So yeah, thank you.
Morning, Clement. So I'm not young anymore, and I'm also from that era where we didn't really buy teachers gifts back then. But while I was in primary, my dad was close friends to this one teacher, big teacher, by the way. And he would come to my house, over the weekend, and they would deck the table nicely for him, drinks and everything. But then this one time, this teacher in class just slapped me so hard, so hard. And I went home and I told my dad what happened in class. And then my dad called him and he said, "Look, you're no longer welcome in this house." And he never stepped foot in my house again. I didn't need him for grades because I was always been a smart boy. TK from Pretoria.
Okay, maybe our next conversation should be about like the relations between parents and the teachers. So forget the gifting. Are you a type of parent that would invite a teacher to a braai or a teacher to a wedding, or the teacher invites you as the child's parents to something? Because guys, naturally we are bound to get along with people, right? There are teachers that are going to get along with a certain parent, and there's a friendship that can blossom from there, or vice versa. How do you manage that? Because in a case like this, when a teacher, and I mean, this is a bit of an extreme case where a teacher slaps the child, but what happens when there's a bit of a misunderstanding at school? Like, sure, I mean, there's no way that that's not going to affect your friendship. So I wonder how you handle that. Maybe that's something we should talk about next time. It's 2 minutes before 10.
There's a new way to experience all your favorites. Pulse Africa, the 24/7 fast channel, now live on primemediaplus.com and the Prime Media Plus app, bringing you the best of Prime Media around the clock. Watch the biggest moments from 7:02. It's non-stop entertainment and authentic African storytelling, all from Africa's leading media network. Pulse Africa, only on the primemediaplus.com and Prime Media Plus app.
Mom, I know what I want to be when I grow up.
Oh, really?
I want to be an astronaut.
An astronaut? Aren't you aiming a little high?
Well, that's where you come in. I need you to buy me Pediasure. It has 27 vitamins and minerals to support my growth so that I hit all the milestones, and it's scientifically proven.
Okay, Miss Clever. Where can I buy Pediasure?
It's available at pharmacies and retailers in South Africa.
Pediasure by Abbott. Approved by kids to fuel their dreams.
Team, summer is game time in Mzansi. Every tap, scan, swipe, it all adds up. And FNB is giving us big rewards, partner deals, e-bucks, defense tips, and chances to score experiences money can't buy. But you're only in the game if you pay with FNB. So stay sharp, spend clever, and let's dominate. Get in the game with FNB. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, Northrise FSP and Credit Provider, NCRCP 20, T's and C's, earn rules and limits apply.
PG Glass Repair, PG Glass Replace.
Hi, I'm Komoto, PG Glass Technician. At PG Glass, we keep your windscreen chip-free and crystal clear.
Choose PG Glass, quality you can trust. Visit pg.co.za.
I'm getting some messages on WhatsApp. Apparently, pastors also get gifts towards the end of the year. It's 10 o'clock, time for the news, and this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Momentum. Financial advisors help you have a better shot at generational wealth. Speak to Momentum. Momentum is part of Momentum Group Limited, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. It's the breaking story this hour. City of Ekurhuleni head of legal Kemi Bihari has been suspended for allegedly failing to carry out disciplinary action against EMPD top cop Julius Mkonazi. Mkonazi was recently suspended for allegedly entering EMPD into a fraudulent contract with suspected underworld figure Vusmuzi Matlala. The contract saw Matlala's private security and medical companies being unlawfully issued with blue and red lines, some of which were allegedly allegedly fitted onto his personal vehicles. Bihari, the city's head of legal, was recently named in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry for allegedly shielding Mkonazi from accountability. Alfara Mushwana has the story.
2 years ago, police watchdog IPID was brought in to investigate the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department's questionable contract with convicted criminal Vusmu Zikat Matlala. IPID made damning findings against EMPD top cop Brigadier Julius Mkonazi, concluding that he had no authority or mandate to enter the department into any agreement. It further found that the Memorandum of Understanding signed with Matlala's CAT, VIP Protection and Medicare 24 companies was fraudulent. IPID then recommended disciplinary action against Mkonazi, but for more than 2 years no action was taken. Ekurhuleni spokesperson Paramile Mbengashe has confirmed that the city's head of legal, Kemi Bihari, is among those accused of failing to implement their recommendations.
We emphasize that this is not a finding of guilt. It is a temporary measure to protect the integrity of an internal process and ensure good governance.
There's also a proposal to suspend Ekurhuleni head of HR, Linda Kashega, who is accused of also failing to enforce disciplinary action against Mkonazi. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, Julius Mkonazi is this morning appearing before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, where he's expected to answer questions around the deal struck with Matlala. Oren Singh reports.
Brigadier Julius Mkonazi has been painted as a law unto himself, taking unlawful decisions and leading a rogue unit within the EMPD. He's also accused of enjoying protection from his close associate, former Ekurhuleni city manager Imogen Mashazi. But while Mashazi distanced herself from any ties to Mkonazi when testifying before the Madlanga Commission this week, previous testimony suggests the pair were close. Former Ekurhuleni head of employee relations, Ekurhuleni Ngiza, alleged that disciplinary charges against Mkonazi in relation to the Matlala deal were halted in June 2023. He told the commission that Mashazi shielded Mkonazi from any form of discipline.
Senior management, for the first time, was hell-bent on protecting an employee, regardless of procedures of the municipality and processes of the municipality.
Mkonazi was officially suspended by the city of Ekurhuleni last month. Arun Singh, Eyewitness News.
Alleged crime kingpin Katiso Katie Molefe will return to the Alexandra Magistrates Court this morning for the centralization of his docket. Molefe is accused of several crimes, including the murder of popular musician Opa Sefoka, known as DJ Sambodi. He is also alleged to have orchestrated a hit on Vereniging engineer Armin Swart. Khomozo Modisa reports.
Over the last couple of months, Katiso Molefe's charge sheet has only become longer. Initially, Molefe was charged with the hit on Armand Swart, a Vereniging engineer who was shot in a case of mistaken identity. But he's now also charged with the murders of musicians DJ Sambodi and DJ Ventos. His co-accused Michael Puledau, Tia Khomabusela and Mosake Kana have also been charged with the murder of businessman Don Ndleni. The crimes have been linked through ballistic evidence. This morning, the court will hear whether the case is ready to be transferred to the High Court for trial. Khomzomodise, Eyewitness News.
Police say security will be beefed up for prosecutors and court officials in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial after an investigation revealed a plot to kill them. 3 people were removed from the courtroom where the case was being heard in Pretoria yesterday, while all 3 have been released by police after being taken in for questioning and profiling. Officers are investigating a case of conspiracy to commit murder. National Police spokesperson Atlenda Mate says there are people who've been attending the Meyiwa trial looking for an opportunity to eliminate key role players.
All steps taken are to ensure we eliminate the threat as well as to protect and save lives. No arrests have been made thus far as investigations and a search for more individuals continue.
And the search for missing Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 will resume at the end of December, more than a decade after the plane disappeared. The Boeing 777, carrying 239 people, vanished from radar screens on 8 March 2014 while en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing in one of aviation's greatest enduring mysteries. Despite the largest search in aviation history, the plane has not been found. Malaysia's Transport Ministry says maritime exploration firm Ocean Infinity will conduct the search in a targeted area assessed to have the highest probability of locating the aircraft. Relatives of the victims voiced hope in February that a new search could finally bring some answers. Gold is trading at $4,205.99 an ounce. The rand is at 17.09 to the dollar, 22.62 to the pound, 19.90 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $62.51 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N12 East. This is in the Devland area, heading towards the N12 exit coming out of the Golden Highway. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N3 North, we've got delays between the Van Buren Road exit and the Glulies interchange.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 27 degrees. The breaking story in EWN this hour. City of Ekurhuleni Head of Legal Kemi Bihari has been suspended for allegedly failing to carry out disciplinary action against EMPD top cop Julius Mkonazi.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
They say the early bird catches the worm. Great advice, unless you're the worm. Generic so-called wisdom doesn't work for everyone, so I settle for a financial plan that's one size fits some. Momentum accredited financial advisors take the time to get to really know your unique situation. Advice meets your context. Momentum, your journey to success. Momentum is part of Momentum Group Limited, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
You're with Clement Manyathela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app,
DSTV channel 856,
92.7 and 106 FM.
8 minutes after 10 o'clock, Dumelang. Welcome to the second hour of the Clement Manyathela Show. Thank you for staying with us here on 702, and thank you for your contribution on the 702 open line. This city of Ekurhuleni head of legal, Kemi Bihari, he has now been suspended for failing to carry out disciplinary action against the deputy chief, the EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkonazi, who has also been suspended for allegedly entering into this fraudulent contract with Ket Matlala's company. Remember, fitting Ket Matlala's vehicles with blue lights. Well, Julius Mkonazi is at the Madlanga Commission. He was subpoenaed. He is going to be asked some really tough questions around the decisions that he's taken, because even the former city manager was unable to justify why she failed to take action against Julius Mkonazi, because there was already 2 years ago an IPID report that probed this matter and recommended disciplinary action against Mkonazi. In fact, after that, they protected him, they promoted him. He was even the acting chief of police at some point. And now, all of these people who have always protected him are being fired or suspended. Left, right, center. So we're hearing from him today at the Madlanga Commission. So I'll be taking you there in the next couple of minutes. In fact, after this break, we're going to take you to Madlanga Commission to hear from Julius Mkonazi. It's 9 minutes after 10.
Tired of long queues and waiting times at labor centers? The Unemployment Insurance Fund, UIF, has made things easier for you. Now you can access UIF services anytime, anywhere through the UIF online services platform. Submit and track your claims outcome. Upload supporting documents. Submit a payment request. Check payment status or update your personal details, all from the comfort of your home or office. It's fast, simple, and user-friendly. All you need is an internet connection. So why wait? Visit uifonline.labour.gov.za/UIF online today and experience convenient, efficient service at your fingertips. UIF, working for you.
Imagine a world where groundbreaking health discoveries start right at home. The VETS Interdisciplinary and Translational Science Biohub will be Africa's first fully integrated bedside to bench to breakthrough campus. It brings scientists, clinicians, and entrepreneurs and industry together to fast-track solutions for the continent's biggest health challenges, from multi-omics research to new vaccines and diagnostics. This is where African science rises. Learn more, get involved, and help accelerate the future of global health innovation at VETS.
You want to build a quality home, the eye-catching jewel of the town, but your personality type is bargain hunter. It's only been 2 months and your quality home is the neighborhood nightmare. So abantu bazotini about the peeling paint that you call abstract art, the cracked walls that look like frown lines. Skip the embarrassment and the hunting. Make smarter decisions for your home. Visit Cash Build online to order quality cement, paint, and more at the lowest prices. Cash Build.
You know what success looks like. Now discover why focus is the driving force behind every success story. Catch 702 in conversation with Momentum on The Money Show with Stephen Ekurhuleni every Thursday, discussing the science of success. Step into the mindset of top financial achievers and discover how your thinking, behavior, and focus can shape lasting financial success. That's 702 in conversation with Momentum. Thursdays on The Money Show with Stephen Ekurhuleni. Momentum, your journey to success on 702. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. 702.
The Clement Manyathela Show.
Let's walk the talk.
12 minutes after 10 o'clock, Advocate Sillo is leading the evidence of Julius Mkonazi, the man who has been described as a law unto himself when he was at Ekurhuleni as one of the top cops there in the EMPD. Let's take you live to the Madlanga Commission.
Sits there with who?
All other heads of departments.
Heads of department of the city of Ekurhuleni?
Yeah, different ones.
Okay.
That time we had 21.
Okay.
Yes, but now it's 12 years reduced to 14, but that time we had 21.
Understood.
Yes,
right,
but I was not part of that because I'm not allowed to sit there.
I understand that. So we understand now, Mr. Van
Yes,
Wyk then got to make that presentation to SMT. You have described what SMT is and who constitutes that body.
Yes.
Okay, you can take it from there.
Yes.
Can I just... Yes, Commissioner.
Yes.
Yeah, can I just check that? In this SMT, where the heads of department sit, the city manager also sits?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. But I'm not part of that meeting. I was not sure. I can't tell who was part of that meeting, was not part of that meeting. But after he came back, you see, he arranged the meeting with me. Then we met. Then he presented whatever that he presented. But it was more or less the same thing that he told me. You see, just that it was on a presentation format. In that presentation format, I know that he showed me there were choppers, there were marked response vehicles, red with color red. It's their emblem in colors. Medicare 24. So the commissioners I'm becoming tasty.
No, you don't have to apologize. It is there for your consumption. Anytime you want to take a drink, please feel free to.
Yes, he took me through the presentation that he presented. He took me through the presentation that he presented at CSMT.
Can you please arrange for more water?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
He took me through that. Yes, then he said, I must formalize it now,
Apologies, Commissioner, you say he took you into that. I think because of the chair's request that you be provided with more water, I must have missed something. He took you... He who, Mr. Van Wyk, I take it,
yes,
took you into that being?
The presentation that he presented.
Okay. So he took you through the presentation?
Yes.
I'm with you.
Yes.
Thank you for the
presentation
clarification.
he had made at the SMT.
Yes.
Please proceed. Thank you.
Well, let me mention, I tried to get hold of him. I thought maybe I will be able to have that presentation because I must talk to something but I couldn't win. You see, but I will try to make sure that you also get that.
Yes.
Because I can't talk something that you want to have. But after that, we had a proposal that can we formalize that thing by writing to the department, see, and start following the processes. You see, that's when there was communication of the proposed letter of MOU. You see, to communication between me, the project officer at Chief's office or at Chief's Mapie's office, the person who deals with all the projects. which is Mrs. Jermaine Fortain. Then on that again.
Please say the name again.
Jermaine Fortain.
Okay.
It's Mrs. Jermaine Fortain. But I communicated, it's not Mike that's communicated with him first. I'm the one who communicated. That as we are dealing with projects, you see, there's this person and it's in the chief's office. But I also communicated by that time with Deputy Chief Mzolo. Then Deputy Chief Mzolo advised me, no, there's a project officer that does those things. Communicate with the project officer. She's the one that runs that. Then that's when I shared her work email and my email with Mike. Mike sent a proposal letter. Then there was a communication. It's just that I had one communique, but I attached that paper trail or that communication trail. You see. Then it was sent to Chief's office. It was on the 4th. Let me check the dates. But let me take it on high note because we're still going.
No, you don't have to guess.
Yes.
With reference to the annexures, you'll get the specific dates. Yeah. We just want to have a sense of sequence of events right now.
Thank you, madam.
So don't be too bothered with the detail of things such as dates.
Thank you. It was shared. It was communicated to Chief's office, and I had bilateral with the deputy chief, and I also had bilateral. When I'm saying bilateral, like talking like this. Yes, I also talked like this with Chief Mapie. He said, no, Jules, he was calling me Jay. He called me Jay. No, Jay, I will look at it, then I will see what to do. You see, then it happens. But after that, then my team again said there are guys that are working with Mike Van Wyk. But those guys are good, they're trained. They're from Special Task Force, SAPS, and Army, but they are recruited, they are working for a private company that is called CAT VIP Security. You see, it was after months. If I'm not mistaken, 2022 now.
Yes.
You see.
Was this people also from the community liaison unit?
No, they're working together. Remember, all of them, they were reporting to me, but those ones were from SWAT unit. Oh. Yes. SWAT unit is also
SW80. SW80.
SW80, yes. But you also call it intervention unit. SWAT or intervention unit. It's like
Please remind me what SWAT stands for. I know it from the movies.
No, let me call it intervention unit. They intervene where there are serious challenges, but it's one of the skills unit that will depend on in terms of your shooting, in terms of fast intervention. Their responsibility is not go to an area and wait for 4 or 5 hours. It's to make sure that they come there, professionals solve the problem, and leave it to your normal precinct or your normal people that are doing normal processes in terms of serious crimes. You see, that's why we call them intervention. They intervene and solve the problem and go back and train or go back to do whatever that they're doing.
Please don't forget the question from the chair. You referred to that unit as the SWAT team.
SWAT, yes, I will remember.
And then
yes.
he says he remembers that term from the movies. So could you please assist him?
Yes, I will assist
in understanding what it stands for. Thank you.
Yes,
or you two don't recall off the top of your head what SWAT stands for? Okay, then the chair doesn't have to feel that bad.
I'm like the commissioner. Say, don't use your movie language. Your intervention unit. Okay. But I know it. I will tell you now, Commissioner.
All right. Thank you for that.
So can I just check, is intervention unit their formal name?
Yes.
That's the name we'll find on the records of the city.
Yes, but when you look at the movies, they do the work of SWAT units. Yes. Your security companies, they like to write SWAT, and Americans, they say SWAT unit in other countries.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And our guys like to be called that SWAT unit. They are not happy with this intervention. Yes.
I guess SWAT is fancier
yes.
in the movies.
It gives that. But after that, you see, we were planning for the state of the city address. It was 2022. As I've said, it was a month before.
Just so I don't get confused, what was a month before the engagement you just spoke of now, where you are introduced to CAT VIP security?
Yes.
That is now a month before the state of the city.
Before the state of the city.
But it's in 2022.
Let me say early 22 or mid.
That's fine.
2022.
Timeline. So we are now in 22. Remember, the first engagement was from 21?
Yes.
So now we are in 22.
2022.
Thank you.
Yes.
But definitely before the state of the
yes,
city.
Yes, before
address.
the state of the address, you see.
You may continue.
Then they communicated that with me, you see. Then in my mind, when I met the chief of police and he briefed me and Mr. Mzolo that the city has took a decision to have the state of the city. The state of the city, it is addressed by executive mayor of the city. And by then, we were after the elections of 2021. Around November, we had 2021 elections, where local government elections, where the new political parties after the election had collusions. In the city, it was for the first time for us to have a collusion government. Economic Freedom Front and Democratic Alliance formed a collusion immediately after elections.
I don't think they will appreciate you calling them Economic Freedom Front.
EFF.
Freedom Fighters.
Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you, Commissioner. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you for correcting me. I usually call EFF. Yes. Let me call it correctly. Economic Freedom Fighters. Yes, and Democratic Alliance. Thank you, Commissioner. Then they had the collusion. Then the mayor from DSL, the DA was able to get the mayor and other parties. They shared mayoral committee position, speaker's position, and chief whip position. Then Chief Mapie presented a document that is attached to the submissions, where the alderman or executive mayor that time raised concerns about the threats, about disruptions that were made by African National Congress in the city. You see, that document, it was presented to me and Mr. Mzoli said, and the city has took a decision or a resolution to have the state of the city address around April, yes, or in April, yes. And that took place, then I thought of the engagement is what you need, or intervention you need. Then I called them and say, remember those guys? I said, oh, they are good guys. When we do our own private shootings as teams, members, especially police, it becomes a sport in terms of playing with firearms. They attend competition and become shootings, and they get skills. They cheat one another in terms of your tactical movement, your shooting movement, how to be a best shooter, how all these things of handling firearm, tactical standing, and all these things. But it's about shooting. And those guys are good. They are giving us good theories, and they are very disciplined. Then I went to Mike again and said, Mike, man, we've got these guys, will have the state of the city, and I'm told that there are threats there. And the threats were very clear, that are coming from African National Congress when I was briefed, or when we were briefed by the chief of police, you see. Then it was fine. Then I said, man, can I communicate with Vus, you see, because they said he's the owner of the CAT VIP security. I think I still remember it correct. I'm just summarizing. Yes, you see.
Just clarify this to me. The intervention unit members told you about CAT VIP protection services.
Yes.
I want to get an understanding of what then led you to Mr. Van Wyk.
Oh.
What was the connection?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. No, when you CAT VIP security, yes, that was owned by Mr. Vusi Matlala. When you enter,
it's exactly at
Yes.
that point.
Yes.
So this entity is owned by Mr. Matlala, but you go to Mr. Van Wyk
Yes.
when you want CAT VIP protection services to assist. So I want to understand why Mr. Van Wyk and not Mr. Matlala.
Yes. When you enter at the Medicare, when you enter at Boxback Medicare 24, there are photos of all the directors. You see, next to Mr. Mike Van Wyk, there's a photo of Mr. Vusi Matlala. You see, and there are other, I think there were about 10 photos of those directors. You see, but my guys have already briefed me what he works with. Mike said, Mike, no, it's fine. No, man, Commissioner, there's something that I jumped, but said I'm summarizing, you see. But I'll talk to that. Let me finish this one so that it will be clear. Then he said to me, no, I can arrange a meeting with Vusi. But I went there thrice, Commissioner, ne? Once there's these photos, I saw him twice there. But I didn't know, because there were a lot of them were making up and down. But you could see that, oh, this one is this one, this one is this one, this one is this one, you see. But I was there just to talk to Mike and communicate with Mike, you see. Then we met. He explained that, no, he owns that thing. He confirmed again that these guys are from SAPS Task Force, they are from SANDAF, you see. They're good, he presented them very well to me. I said, man, we've got threats, you see, when I can meet. We met at Boxback, Medicare 24. You see, he listened to, the person doesn't like to talk too much. He was quiet listening to me.
Commissioner, because you are talking about different people, when you say we met, is it Van Wyk or is it Matlala?
No.
So just mention the name so that we know who you are referring to.
It's Mr. Vusi Matlala, yes, with Mike, you see. Then I related my story, I presented my story to him. He said, no, it's fine. He said, but guys, I want to have a kind of security with me. But that time it was not formal. It was just joking and everything. Or VIP, I said, no, on our side, VIP is not that thing. VIP is not privatized, something like that, you see. But he said, no, it's fine. Formalize it, you see. Then I said to him, I'm told that the offices are not here, you see. Is it a formal institution? Is it a formal company? I said, yes, we are in Tshwane. What is this mall?
We'll get to the mall.
Yes. But I went to his offices. It's a formal offices. When you enter, it is a high-class formal VIP security offices. Then you could see there's administrative, everything's there, you see. Then he took me through, we spoke. I said, no, I see that this company is there, it's formalized. And it was before the state of the city. Then, towards the state of the city, planning started. Then I called him and say, Chief, you remember that he likes to talk with style. He was calling me Ngamla. Then I called him Ngamla too, you see. No, this Gauteng lingos, you see. He said Ngamla, and I said, I will call. He said, no, it's fine, you see. Then I said, Ngamla, there's going to be that, as I told you, and we are closer to that. And usually when it's that, we've got planning operational meetings. That's a city, you see. He said, no, it's fine. I will send a person. I will tell him that it's at Jamestown, times and everything, you see. But on that day, he called, said, no, I'm coming personally, you see. He came personally at Jamestown Civic Center where we were planning with all the commanders and all the people that are going to take part. It's private security, it's SAPS, it is us as EMPD. Because it was the city's event and it was done by us in terms of planning and everything, you see.
Commissioner, just sorry to interrupt, you keep making reference to a he. He came personally. Who is the he in this instance?
Vusi.
Oh, Vusi Matlala.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's interesting. He keeps calling him Mr. Matlala, and yet on the WhatsApp text, these people were like brothers. Hey, brother. And now he says, yeah, Gamla. He's over-explaining things, and that's when you, at least my experience, you must know that something is up here. But hey, let's wait and see what else he's got to tell the commission. He is now detailing how he got to meet Ket Matlala and how he got to seek the services of the Ket Matlala, the private security. So we'll take you back to the Madlanga Commission after the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. It's 10:31. Smiso, hi.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. City of Ekurhuleni head of legal Kemi Bihari has been suspended for allegedly failing to carry out disciplinary action against EMPD top cop Julius Mkonazi. Mkonazi was recently suspended for allegedly entering EMPD into a fraudulent contract with suspected underworld figure Vusmuzi Ket Matlala. The contract saw Matlala's private security and medical companies being unlawfully issued with the city's blue and red lights, some of which were allegedly fitted into his personal vehicles. In the capital, the DA has opened a fraud case against the city's deputy mayor and finance MMC Eugene Modise at the Brooklyn police station today. A forensic investigation report recently tabled before council found Modise is unethically benefiting from a company doing business with the municipality. The company in question is Triotic Protection Services, which has a multi-million rand security contract with the city. And European Union lawmakers and member states have reached a deal to ban all imports of Russian gas by next year as the bloc seeks to choke off key funds feeding Moscow's war chest. The overnight accord aims to break a dependency the bloc has struggled to end despite the invasion of Ukraine, and it marks a compromise between the EU capitals and the European Parliament, which wanted the ban to hit sooner. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 11 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Travelling on the N3 North, we've got an accident reported after Van Buren Road. Delays coming out of the Geldenhuys interchange. And then travelling on the N12 as well as the R24 West, delays between Edenville Road and the Ekurhuleni interchange. Heading towards Woodmead as well as Sunny Hill, we still have got those heavy traffic volumes on the N3 North between Vincent Chabalala Road and the Baklu interchange. That's due to roadworks. And then along Marlborough Drive, I'm seeing an accident reported right near the N3 turn off. It is causing delays. Please be on the lookout there. If you're travelling in Devland, we still have got that accident seen on the N12 East. It happened right after the Golden Highway, delays towards the N1, and then obviously because of this scene, people are now trying to use the Golden Highway to navigate their way through El Dorado Park. Unfortunately, as a result, it is heavily backed up as well between the N12 and the N1 exit. So heavy traffic volumes around El Dorado, Devland as well as Naturena areas this morning. Please be on the lookout there and continue driving with care. More updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
On the Midday Report, every day from 12 to 1 p.m, we will bring you breaking news from the scene as it unfolds with newsmakers, reporters, commentators, experts and analysts. We'll explain the stories of the day, give you context for why they are important and what they mean for you. It is everything you need to know in 1 hour, from news to global events, business, sports, science, books, and always some good news too. Appointment listening every day at 12 with the Midday Report.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
In life's most challenging moments of loss, compassion can be your greatest comfort. You shouldn't have to face the financial burden of losing a loved one by yourself. Rest assured, Clientele's funeral plans pay out cash within 24 hours. You can cover up to 13 family members on one plan, ensuring all your loved ones are taken care of, and 3 children are covered at no additional cost. With Clientele, you're not just buying a plan, you're also buying peace of mind. When the time comes, you will need to make important calls with your 200 Rand airtime you will receive when you claim. Plans offer double accidental death cover, as well as transport, grocery and unveiling benefits. Apply today, it's easy. There are no medical examinations and no paperwork. SMS Dignity to 41446. That's 41446. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
702.
The Clement Manyathela Show.
Let's walk the talk.
25 minutes before 11 o'clock, we're back at the Madlanga Commission where Julius Mkonazi, the suspended EMPD deputy chief, has been testifying. So far, he's been talking about how he got to meet Ket Matlala and how he was seeking the services of his private security ahead of the State of the City address because they were worried about some disruptions that may come from other political parties.
You referred to the mayor's office. There's a word you use, Alder, please say it.
No, to the executive mayor.
Yes, please.
Alder woman Tanya Campbell.
The Alder woman. And then you said...
In fact, Alder woman is like councillor with long service, Tanya Campbell. But they call them Alder.
And now I understand.
Aldermen, yes.
Because you use that word to say that I think representatives of the Alder woman attended this particular meeting.
No, we went to them in her office because they wanted to know that they are supposed to be briefed. Remember, the person who briefs the executive mayor is the chief of police. Okay. But be at my position, I can communicate with officials.
Now, would you recall who led the team of, can I say, of the aldermen in that meeting? Do you recall at all?
I will try to recall. You know, when there are changes,
okay, that's
they
fine.
left. Then when the new collision came in, you see. No, but I'll try to remember.
I'll flag it for now. We can then move on. Yes. Perhaps later when we engage, you'll have remembered. Thank you so much. You may proceed.
Yes, it was 2 or 3 officials.
Okay.
At her office, sorry.
At her office.
Yes.
So this planning meeting is happening at her office.
At Jamestown Civic Center.
At her office.
Yeah, Jamestown Civic Center. It's our legislature, where politicians like Chief Whip, Executive Mayor, and the Speaker, and the chairperson of different portfolio committees of the city sits. Understood. But they sit in different offices. Yes, and their staff works there. Yes, it was that time.
I interrupted you, apologies.
Yes, then operationally we left them. That's when an operational plan that was developed by Acting Lieutenant Klimba. An operational plan, it's a legal document that we develop when we are having a planned operational plan. It may be your crime prevention, it may be your bylaws, it may be traffic law enforcement. Or it may be your event. There must be an operational plan. And the type of operational plan that we're having, it was developed after Marikana. Then we were all taken to training, not all of us. But I was one of those who were privileged, who went to that training. I talk about it, the operational commander's course, where they teach you from A to Z. You see how to develop that plan. You must have consultation, you must have a profile, you must understand the dynamics, the challenges in terms of the threats, and you must plan according to what you are having in terms of making sure that you eliminate the threat, you destabilize the disturbers or somebody who want to disrupt and cause chaos. As per briefing, as per document that we got, that's how I briefed my members. That's how, that time, I was promoted as a director. I was no longer a commander of public order policing. But public order policing was responsible in terms of that. That's when I called her Madam Klimba, but it was 18 chief superintendent. You see, you know the ranks that we use, our lieutenant and what. Us, in fact, we're not supposed to use those words. There must be a council resolution that adopts that we can call ourselves general, brigadiers, lieutenant colonels. If there's no council rules, I can't wake up and say, hey, I'm the deputy chief, I'm changing the structure, I'm changing the ranking and profile. Because there may be, in terms of the arm, I'm told that it goes with bigger benefits. Even if you go on pension, you go with that. But in terms of municipality, there must be council resolution. But that time, some people are still using the lieutenant colonels. Don't be confused. On our side, it's the chief superintendent, acting chief superintendent. That goes to commissioners directors, and you see. But in terms of military one, it's your brigadier. I'm the major general in terms of those. But here, I'm the commissioner because the council or deputy chief, because the council didn't take any resolution to say we are changing our ranks now towards that. Then that time she was a acting chief superintendent. She was a superintendent. Then she developed that plan on the 28th, because they said, né? But on the 29th, she came to my office with that plan, with all the names that you are going to get, that we are asking for, who were part of the meeting on the 28th. A plan that is developed. I know that, I must mention this, I know that Deputy Director presented a forged plan, and record me, a forged plan that he forged, because I'm trained in terms of developing that plan, you see, and showed us different faults and what. But I will talk to that when we are there. The plan was developed.
Just so we don't get confused, you said Deputy Director presented a forged plan.
No, Deputy Chief Rove Spitz
Okay.
lied to this commission
I'm with you.
presented the forged plan.
I'm with you. All I wanted was for you to specify the name.
Yes.
You just gave the title.
Yes,
So
yes.
it is, you say Deputy Chief Spitz.
Commissioner, let me raise this. I, Julius Dr. Mkonazi,
Yes.
Deputy Chief of Operation and Specialized Services,
Yes.
say in this commission and in members of public of this country, Deputy Chief of Police, Revo Spitz, presented a forged plan that he forged and presented to this commission. I'm going to present the real operational plan that I gave it to him when I was instructed to give him that plan.
I
We
accept
need
that.
it. Yes, I'm going to do it.
Commissioner Mkonazi, all I sought to do was to obtain from you the name of the person you say forged the document.
Yes.
That was all.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Humble apologies. Yes.
Before we
But-
move on, have some water, please.
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner.
You are more helpful when you are calm, so take your time, drink your water, and try to relax.
Thank you, Commissioner.
We are at the stage where we only clarifying. We're not questioning you or challenging what you are saying.
Yes.
So I just need to understand that it was you who brought in cat protection services. So you introduced them to the Elder Women's Senior Team.
Yes.
So that they know who cat services is, cat protection services. And then because you were at a level of a director, you don't sit in the operational planning meeting, but you introduced the team from cat protection services, and they became part of that meeting that produced the operational plan. Do I have you correct?
Yes, but that doesn't mean that I don't oversee.
No,
They still report to me.
All I wanted to understand was that it was you who introduced cat protection services and you brought them in.
Yes, Commissioner. Yes.
Thank you.
And the plan was developed by, as I've said, acting Chief Superintendent Klemba. She compiled it. If you see the plan, the first page, she compiled it. And on the 29th, I know she called me and said, Nduna, the plan is finalized. Can I come so that you can sign it? I want to go to Deputy Chief 2. I want to go to the office of the Chief of Police. Then when she came in, I looked at the plan that she developed. It was fine 100%. All the stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, the execution, the tasking of members, before event start, during event, after event, the briefing part and the debriefing part, and the resources and the personnel. They must be part of the plan when everything happens. And again, the resources, we're talking about human resource, I've said personnel, and in terms of your vehicles, and in terms of the tools that you are going to utilize, because it's very important. In crowd management, we are not allowed to use side firearms and live rounds, you see. There are different stages that you must do. There's a water cannon, there's a shotgun, which is having a minimum force. You can't use a maximum force because it is a constitutional right for people to protest to raise their concern. Then again, you must organize the speaker's corner. You can't just chase them and say, hey, there's an executive or there's a state of the city. You are not allowed here as police. No. You must organize a certain place for them. But that thing the plan must talk to all of that. And when you deploy again, your deployment must talk to that. That's what I was checking. It was 100%, then I signed. Then in terms of the dates, she had already dates that she signed. Not signed. She wrote dates. It was right in the 29th of it was April 2025, I will remember. But for me, for Mr. Mzolo and the Chief of Police, after that, she's the one who took it to the Deputy Chief of Police, my boss that time, you see, as I was a director, you see. I know that he signed, I was not there. Then after that, he took it to the Chief of Police. She's the one who took it there, you see. Later on, she called me, Donna, thank you. All of you have signed. Now the plan, the chief, that means now we can execute the plan because it was signed off by the Chief of Police, because the Chief of Police must sign off the operational plan. Even if you can plan and better resources and what, but as long as it's not signed by the Chief of Police or the acting Chief of Police, you see, it can't be executed. So that whatever happens in the court of law, all of you that have signed, you must go in account. If there's an incident, somebody has passed on, or there's a serious accident where people are injured, anything that has to do, that will need you to go to court. All those that have attached their signatures. Yes, they will call the commanders and everything, but those that are having a final weight are part of that, you see. And it creates accountability. You see, that's why after American had that thing, you see, that in the whole country is doing that, you see. Then on
Commissioner, I apologize once again, and I seek clarity only, so please don't fight with me.
Sorry, Advocate, just one follow-up before I hand back to
Yes, Commissioner.
The operational plan was developed, it was signed by people who are supposed to sign it, and it was finalized. I just want clarity on this. The operational plan, if I understood you correctly, made provision for the deployment of cat protection services.
Yes, in that operational plan, he was part of it, yes, made. Fully agree. As
far as you know, who was going to pay for the cost of cat protection services being part of the operational plan?
Oh, I forgot to mention, just that I was summarizing. It was at no cost to the city. He said, no, I'll just provide my guys to assist. You see, he didn't charge us anything. I think for him it was part of a marketing strategy. You see, no, he didn't charge us anything. I'll be lying, Commissioner.
So both the cars, the warm bodies, the people, and the weapons, it was at no cost to the city.
Yes, Commissioner.
Because it was part of his marketing.
Yes. No, I think it was part of his marketing. But the cars are not branded. You see, they are not even writing the cat security, private security.
Thank you. I think I'll hand back to Advocate.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Mkonazi, the clarification I sought. You had been explaining, I think, to Commissioner Kumalo how the operational plan came about, and I think, if I understood you correctly, it's created by Chief Superintendent Klimba. That's its start point.
Yes.
Okay. Just to rush ahead, did I hear you correctly? Did you sign that?
Yes.
You signed it?
Yes.
Okay.
I read and signed.
That's fine. I had missed that part. So you signed before, and the last person to sign and approve would be Chief Mapie.
Yes. In terms of the restructure, it's her as a compiler, director, deputy chief, and the chief of police.
So then, in that sense, it would be Chief Superintendent Klimba, the creator of the document, presents to you, you consider, then eventually, if you are satisfied, you sign.
Yes.
Then the next to sign would be, if I understood you, Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Mzolo, give me his proper title, please.
Deputy Chief of Police or
Deputy
Commissioner Mzolo.
Commissioner Mzolo would then be next to sign, and that was the person you reported directly to.
Yes.
And then lastly, Chief Mapieye as the Chief of Police would sign.
Yes.
I've got my order of things. I'm happy.
And I forgot to mention,
yes,
before they signed, you must go back and brief them about the stakeholders or about the people that are going to take part in the. You must brief them about the whole planning and summarize.
And the briefing is done by you?
No, yes, by me to the Deputy Chief and the Chief of Police.
Okay.
And I did that on the 28th. It's either the 28th or the 27th, I don't remember. But I know I did that, and it was at our headquarters, Captain Park, EMPD HQ. You see, yes. I did that. I met the two of them. I briefed them. Usually, when there's a very important event or event that needs bigger personnel, needs resources and everything, that's what you must do.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I personally briefed them.
And I do accept that you didn't brief them just specifically for this event. You are saying you brief them as you do in the normal course of things when you prepare for this. I accept that. Thank you.
Yes. And
we interrupted you.
And to make them relax that I'm on top of it, the event is going to be well protected.
Yes.
We are going to execute everything according to the plan. As the director who's operational who understand this thing, everything will be sorted.
Okay.
Because all these special events,
yes,
I was the one who was coming, or I'm the one who's responsible for them.
Yes.
You see, because I'm centralized, specialized services. Other directors are in different regions, northern region, southern region, eastern region. All my units are centralized. We're able to move around the city, in and out of the city. We're doing that. I did that.
All right. I think you are almost like at your paragraph 12, which is what we are just discussing now, where you speak of acting Lieutenant Klimba and the plan that was developed, signature thereof, right?
You said paragraph 12, ne?
At paragraph, I said the discussion we're having, just have a look at your paragraph 12.
Oh.
That involves that the operational plan developed by Chief Superintendent Klimba, and then you say it was approved and signed by the Chief of Police, the Deputy Chief of Police, and the Director of Specialized Services being yourself.
Yes.
So I just want you to come. I'm not putting words in your mouth.
No,
okay.
You're not.
You then deal with the operational plan itself for the State of the City address, and you take issue with what Rivospi submitted.
Yes.
And you've spoken to that. From paragraph 14, specifically, and that's where I want you to get to, because you deal with a slightly different issue. And this one specifically regards you say regarding the blue lights and registration of vehicles. So perhaps if you turn to your page 5, paragraph 14, then you can deal with that aspect of things.
Yes, during, Commissioner will forgive me, between 2021 and 2022, but the attached documents will talk to those dates, you see. Members again informed me that, I think it's 2022, that...
apologies once again, based on the questions that have previously come. You say members. Please be more specific. What members are these?
Yes. My operational members from SWAT. Intervention Unit. Yes.
Please proceed. Thank you.
Yes. Inform me. Our guys are telling us that they're going to CAT is going to change. CAT VIP protection. VIP protection, I must call it. Security services. He is going to change the vehicles. You see, he wants to up his level with these classy cars or highly performing and quality cars, because he's targeting other clients from outside the country. You see, I said, the guys, you know that we're suffering. You see, I will go and twist Mike. You see. But by then, I'll be able, I was communicating with Vus. You see, Vus Matlala. Yes. You see, but not that close. Mike, I am going to your boss again. You see. Then we met with Vus. He said, no, Ngamla. No, I'm changing the fleet. You see. But these cars, they are costing me in terms of service. I said, no, we don't have cars in the city of Ekurhuleni. You see, I will appreciate. You see, that time when we were talking, I said, if you can damn them to us, you see, I wanted to twist them. He said, no, Ngamla, it's fine. But after that, we didn't agree with anything. Then I communicated with my deputy chief. I said, hey, deputy chief, there are these cars, man, they're black and what, but they still pay for me. You see, he said, Julius, the person who does those things, he was calling me by the name. Sometimes I will contest and say, Bamzol, baban. You see. He said, no. The person who does those things, it's proxy. That time I didn't know because it was operational. It's Mr. Who's this? Christine. Yes, Mr. Christine. Yes, you see. Go and get information and everything. I didn't waste time. Move direct to Mr. Christine. Like I found him there. I said, hey, Mr. Christine, as you know, by the name of Julius, I said, no, I know your cars are always problematic with cars in terms of services. No, when cars are old, we didn't have a fleet. You see, he's the one that aligned budget and give you what. No, he's not the one that finalizes in terms of budget. But when the department budget is there, he's the one who says, we fix this car, you don't fix this one, is old, this one must change engine, all those things. Proxy does that. They're managing all the fleet. And he's managing the fleet of the whole city of Ekurhuleni. No department manages its own fleet or does final services and everything. All the cars are registered under him. Then he said, you know what, we don't have a process that we follow in terms of donations of these vehicles. You see, the last time your department did this thing before, and what they did, it was to get only the letter of intent, you see, or intention to donate, let me say so, you see. But it must come from the owner, not from the friend of the owner, because we'll be charged that we're stealing cars and what. I said, no. I'm going to push and make sure. I called Mr. Matlala. He said, no, it's fine, Julius. You see, you can do that, you see. Then we met, he gave me the email. I'm not sure, I forgot that the email, but I got the letter of intention to donate. Or intention, the letter of intention. It was writing that. It's not saying letter of intention.
Must be nice, eh? You're just donating vehicles to a metro like that. And you're donating your services, warm bodies, vehicles, arms for free for protection during the State of the City address. But he says Matlala wanted advertising, and yet the services that were being advertised, when you look at the cars, he himself says the cars were not even branded. So you wonder, how did he think the services were going to be advertised during the time when he offered some assistance? We're going to take the news in a moment, and then after the headlines, we'll listen to what's happening at the Madlanga Commission after the news at 11 o'clock. We may or may not take you back there. It's a minute now before 11 o'clock.
Live your best hoop life with Hollywood Bets. Bring your big game energy to the court as we welcome a thrilling new NBA season. Bet 50 Rand or more on any basketball fixture, and you could score a share of 250,000 Rand in cash or an epic NBA shopping spree. Bounce into blistering action. Your ultimate slam dunk moment awaits. Bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp HELP to 076 675 0710.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for butcheries, restaurants, beauty salons and more. Here's Gert.
I definitely have peace of mind that Business Outsurance is protecting our business. I do think Business Outsurance are the best insurance company out there, and they gave us the best quotes.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Time for the news, and this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Vouch. Hassle-free insurance is possible with your Vouch advisor. Vouch SA is an authorized financial services provider. T's and C's apply.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulu. We start with news just in. The EFF's Ntabiseng Chivenga has resigned with immediate effect as councillor and speaker of the Ekurhuleni City Council. EWN understands that her resignation stems from a fallout with EFF Gauteng chairperson Kulego Dunga and councillor Julius Mkonazi. Despite all three belonging to the same party, they have had public spats during recent council sittings. We'll have more on this breaking story in our next bulletin. Meanwhile, in the city of Ekurhuleni, head of legal Kembi Bihari has been suspended for allegedly failing to carry out disciplinary action against EMPD top cop Julius Mkonazi. Mkonazi was recently suspended for allegedly entering EMPD into a fraudulent contract with suspected underworld figure Vusmuzi Matlala. The contract saw Matlala's private security and medical companies being unlawfully issued with the city's blue and red lights, some of which were allegedly fitted into his personal vehicles. Bihari, the city's head of legal, was recently named in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry for allegedly shielding Mkonazi from accountability. Alfara Mushwana reports.
2 years ago, police watchdog IPID was brought in to investigate the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department's questionable contract with convicted criminal Vusmuzi Matlala. IPID made damning findings against EMPD top cop Brigadier Julius Mkonazi, concluding that he had no authority or mandate to enter the department into any agreement. It further found that the Memorandum of Understanding signed with Matlala's CAT, VIP Protection and Medicare 24 companies was fraudulent. IPID then recommended disciplinary action against Mkonazi, but for more than 2 years no action was taken. Ekurhuleni spokesperson Paramile Mbengashe has confirmed that the city's head of legal, Kemi Bihari, is among those accused of failing to implement their recommendations.
We emphasize that this is not a finding of guilt. It is a temporary measure to protect the integrity of an internal process and ensure good governance.
There's also a proposal to suspend Ekurhuleni head of HR, Linda Kashega, who is accused of also failing to enforce disciplinary action against Mkonazi. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
In the capital, the DA has opened a fraud case against the city's deputy mayor and finance MMC Eugene Modise at the Brooklyn police station today. A forensic investigation report recently tabled before council found Modise is unethically benefiting from a company doing business with the municipality. The company in question is Triotic Protection Services, which has a multi-million rand security contract with the city. Tabiso Koba has more.
Eugene Modise has maintained he sold his ownership stake in Triotic Protection Services in 2023 prior to becoming a PR councillor for the ANC in Tshwane. However, the forensic investigation report says Modise failed to provide a sale of agreement to prove this. The reports found Modise also failed to disclose he currently leases one of his properties to Triotic and receives a rental income from a company currently doing business with the city. The DA's Jackie Ace says Modise has breached the councillor's code of conduct.
The DA will lay fraud charges against Deputy Mayor Eugene Modise since the mayor is not acting. Investigative reports in council link Modise to irregular benefits from city contracts.
Last week, the ANC, Action SA and EFF caucuses sponsored and passed a motion to establish an ad hoc committee to consider the implications of the reports. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
And European Union lawmakers and member states have reached a deal to ban all imports of Russian gas by next year as the bloc seeks to choke off key funds feeding Moscow's war chest. The overnight accord aims to break a dependency the bloc has struggled to end despite the invasion of Ukraine and marks a compromise between EU capitals and the European Union, which wanted the ban to hit sooner. Under the deal, long-term pipeline contracts will be banned from September 30 next year, provided storage levels are sufficient and no later than November. The move aims to end dependency on Russian energy following Russia's weaponization of gas supplies with significant effects on the European energy market. Gold is trading at $4,205.99 an ounce. The rand is at 17.09 to the dollar, 22.62 to the pound, 19.92 the euro. Brent crude oil is at $62.51 a barrel.
Traffic remains heavily backed up on the N12 East in the Devland area between the Golden Highway and the N12 exit, the N1 exit rather. This is due to a major accident seen. As a result, people are using the Golden Highway through Devland towards the N1. So please be on the lookout there and expect delays. There's also queuing traffic on the M2 West between Boyson's Road and the Crown Interchange, while travelling in Kelvin, queuing traffic along the N3 North between Marlborough Drive and the Buccleuch Interchange.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 27 degrees. The breaking story in EWN this hour: the EFF's Ntabiseng Chivenga has resigned with immediate effect as a councillor and speaker of the Ekurhuleni City Council.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is the voice of reason speaking.
But I could sound like this.
Or I could sound like this. Whatever I sound like, I'm saying, listen, Uskapaiza, this insurance thing.
One wrong move and it's not vibes.
That's why you need Vouch.
Someone who gets you and insurance. No spam, no pressure, just honest advice and cover that fits your life.
Because when life happens, you don't have to be the expert.
You just need to know who to turn to. Vouch. Someone on the inside, on your side. Vouch SA is an authorized financial services provider. T's and C's apply.
You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
7 minutes after 11 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the third and final hour of the Clement Manyathela show. What on earth is happening in Ekurhuleni? The speaker, so the EFF's councillor Ntabiseng Chivenga, who is also the speaker of the Ekurhuleni Council, has resigned with immediate effect. He's the EFF councillor. That's the story at 11 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, the leading story was that the city of Ekurhuleni's head of legal, Kemi Behari, has been suspended for allegedly failing to carry out disciplinary action against EMPD top cop Julius Mkonazi. As we speak now, in fact, in the previous hour, we have been taking the testimony of the EMPD deputy chief, suspended EMPD deputy chief Julius Mkonazi, at the Madlanga Commission. They've now taken a break, a tea break, until about 20 past or so. All of this is happening. I mean, it never happens that you've got three leading stories, top stories about the same metro. It's really, really quite incredible what we're seeing unfold in the Ekurhuleni metro. So Julius Mkonazi has been testifying at the Madlanga Commission, and he's all over the place. He really is. Some of the things he's saying are not making sense. He touches on things and then he leaves them. It's not making sense to me either. How does Ket Matala say, I'm going to donate these vehicles to you guys? Jay, cars. You just donate cars to a metro. You don't expect anything in return. Oh, when they have the state of the city address and they're concerned about security that may be breached, you offer your services again for free. In fact, he didn't offer them because Julius Mkonazi says, I went and met Ket Ngamla, as they used to call each other. And Ket Matala didn't ask for anything in return. You've just taken your security there, your vehicles, your arms for free at the state of the city address. And you said, oh, actually I want this for advertising. Yet your vehicles are not even branded. It's just not making sense. But hey, we're seeing quite some important shifts happening in the city of Ekurhuleni. It's 10 minutes now after 11 o'clock. Time for our Listener's Choice feature.
Burning questions.
Insightful answers
Listener's choice.
with Clement Manyathela.
So, have you ever wondered what the Epstein files are all about? Well, on our Listener's Choice feature this morning, we're discussing exactly that. What are the Epstein files? One of our listeners has asked that we get someone who can come and explain, because some of us have sort of a basic understanding of the Epstein files, because they've become one of the most controversial, closely watched collections of documents in modern legal history. And these are files that relate to the late American financier Jeffrey Epstein, who was charged with sex trafficking of minors and who later died in jail under quite disputed circumstances. So what's happened over the years is that there have been court cases linked to Epstein, which have produced thousands of pages of sealed evidence, of witness statements, of flight logs, depositions, you name it. And in the next few weeks, a portion of those records will actually be unsealed. So for many people around the world who are watching this story unfold from a distance, the interest actually lies not only in Epstein's crimes, but in the high-profile names that will appear in these documents. We're talking business magnates here. We're talking politicians, the royalty, entertainment figures. And these files sort of provide quite a disturbing look at how wealth, power, and impunity intersect. So one of our listeners has asked that we focus on the Epstein files and explain what they are. If you've got your own questions about this, you can give us a call on 011-883-0702. The WhatsApp line is 072-702-1702. Dr. Leslie Ann Foster is the founder and director of Masimanyane Women's Rights International, who's going to help us understand this further, joining us on the line. Thank you for making time for us, Dr. Foster. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
So for listeners who may, only know about the headlines, what exactly are the Epstein files, and why are they considered so significant internationally? Because a lot of us sort of just understand the basics.
Well, to start off, as you said, Jeffrey Epstein is probably the most notorious child trafficker and child, abuser, who actually created a space for very rich and powerful men to be able to have sex with underage children. We call that pedophiles. That word has not been used yet in this case. Partly because the children, the girl children that fell victim to Jeffrey Epstein and his cohort of abusers, they are now women, and they are standing up and talking out against what their experiences have been. Why this is important is because these are all acts of violence against children, and they were acts committed by very wealthy, very renowned, famous people, like the former Prince of England, Prince Andrew, who lost all his titles and who's no longer a royal prince because he was linked to Jeffrey Epstein. There's allegations that Donald Trump was one of the people that, hung out with these young women and could be, or it is alleged that he was involved in having underage sex with these girl children. So that is a criminal offense. And it is the uncovering of that criminal offense which has got the world, really paying attention to this, because it's about accountability. That people who are rich, who are wealthy, who are famous, feel that they can exploit children to the extent that these famous people did. And that makes it criminal, and people are calling for accountability. The survivors of these acts of violence are calling for accountability in this case. So it's very important to those of us that are working to create a space where children are safe, where they are protected, and where they are not exploited. Globally, we want that kind of life for I mean, everybody should be wanting that for their children, that you protect the innocence, you protect the children to just be children and not to be exploited in this way. But these men used their power, they used their money, they used their influence to exploit these children. It happens in our society on a day-to-day basis, and that lack of accountability is what perpetuates these kinds of crimes. All of us want to see an end to that. And that's why the Epstein files are so, so important to us. We firstly want to know, who are those leaders? What? And I mean,
how do we interpret their associations? Because there are many high-profile names that are likely to appear in the unsealed files. Some accused, others are simply mentioned. And of course, there are others who will say, yeah, we interacted with Epstein, but I've never really been in areas or environments where he's brought in these underage people and I interacted with them. So what's going to be sort of the test of that interpretation of these associations that are coming out?
Well, I think the first thing I want to say is to use an age-old saying that says, where there's smoke, there's fire. And, just by associating with somebody who was engaged in criminal activities, there is going to be the suspicion that they were engaging with this person, in order to either hide, which is just as criminal, to hide the fact that they were engaged in all of these, nefarious activities. One of the shocks I got this week was reading that the famous Dr. Deepak Chopra is mentioned in those files. And there are transcripts of the conversations they'd had, which have been taken from computers, from cell phones, etc., where he actually asked, did you manage to get a settlement with this young woman? And he says, yes. Jeffrey Epstein responds and says, yes. And then he asks, and what about the other case? And he says, something about that. Now, even having somebody who's a spiritual guru engaging with somebody like Jeffrey Epstein, and Deepak Chopra is a spiritual leader, renowned and revered across the world. To have him ask questions where he's actually, reducing accountability for what this man has done and saying, oh, it's good that you managed to get a settlement. That points fingers at him, for the cover-up. He may not have been involved in actual, sex with underage children, but he was involved in the cover-up. So it's that kind of thing that we want to know. And these files are giving explicit, clear evidence of how people have engaged, with Jeffrey Epstein around these things. So he was actually passing off these criminal acts as he was normalizing it. He was making it okay. And people were saying to him, it's okay to do that, And that's what drives violence against women in our society, is when we look the other way, when we condone what's happening in front of us, when we, don't work to hold people to account for this. And it happens, look how long it's taken for these files to be brought, to the public eye. Yes, people have been, Shalane, the woman that actually trafficked the girls on his behalf, is in jail. So some people have been held to account. He, as you mentioned, is supposed to have committed suicide, but, there are there's a conspiracy theory that he was actually killed, in order to keep quiet. And the biggest thing at the moment is whether Trump is going to be seen to have had more. And there's photographic evidence. Prince Andrew said, I didn't, have anything to do with these people. And then there's a photograph of him with a woman who has subsequently committed suicide. So that's the other thing, is that the impact of child sexual exploitation is lifelong.
Yeah, and look at him now. He's fallen from grace. We're talking now about the possibility of, in fact, over the next few weeks, a portion of these records will be unsealed. What will that mean? What does the release of these documents tell us about, also how these global networks of power and influence operate across borders? Because I think one question I got a lot is, why were they sealed in the first place? If this guy is a convicted sex offender, why? Clearly you can tell people are being protected here.
Exactly. And that's exactly the point I wanted to make, is that when they are rich and powerful, they can hide that evidence. And the release of the evidence is very important to us, but it is problematic that a portion of it only will be released. So who is the cover up for? And again, it'll be money and influence that decides, how much and which part of those files will actually be released. And I mean, Trump is fighting very, very hard for it not to be released, so that, he stays in the clear. Whoever, is implicated, there will be repercussions for that. But again, I promise you that whatever those repercussions are going to be, it's going to take years and years and years for the actual accountability to be effected. The most that will probably happen is that, their families will disintegrate because of the evidence that comes out of it. And even in cases like that, if they're very rich, the families will band together, to keep that information. But this is important because these were very high-profile people.
Yeah.
And they weren't the ones that get away because of what they have, the resources they have, which is money and influence and status and connections. They have powerful political connections. So all of those things, will keep them and protect them. And basically what we're saying is, show us, who these people are, so that they can fall from grace, as it were. Because the likely impact is, if people, big names, say the head of some corporation is found to have been involved in underage sex, the investors will pull out. Many of them will nope, we don't want to have anything to do with this. And their credibility will be called into question, because people will say, if you can make risky decisions and you have risky activities, we don't want to invest our money with somebody like that.
Yeah. What hope is there that there will be accountability here? Because, Epstein managed to avoid serious consequences for so many years, which says a lot about accountability for wealthy, well-connected individuals globally. But from an international law perspective, how difficult is it to prosecute crimes like sex trafficking when they span multiple countries and jurisdictions? Will there ever be accountability even on these people who are associated with him and also took part?
Yeah, I think the best example of accountability now is the former Prince Andrew, of the royal family in the UK, where there has been some impact. The impact has been a little bit of a loss, and I'm saying a little bit of a loss of income, loss of status, because he was, taken off many charities. People don't want to have anything. He was stripped of his army credentials. He's been put out of his house, and he's stripped of all his titles, and the family is shunning him, the royal family itself. Because if they associate with him, then there's an implication that they are covering up. So that's one case of a high-profile, person. The problem with this cross-border and transnational sex trafficking is that it's difficult to bring all the perpetrators to account in that, because you have to traverse different legal systems. And then the sex trafficking industry is a very protected criminal industry, and the accountability there is almost never, to bring people to book. And then I think, and also it's very violent, as we can see with Epstein. And I mean that, the conspiracy theory is that he was murdered. When people speak out, or when they pose a danger to other people, they can be eliminated. And with sex trafficking, that happens a lot. There's a lot of murder, a lot of violence, in that industry. So we'll see more of that, as we go along. But as somebody that's worked in the sector for a long time, I think it's going to be very, very challenging to see all of those files and to have all of the perpetrators named and shamed and held to account, because their money will protect them. Their networks will. You see, each one of them is connected to other people who was probably involved in some way or another in this whole case. And so those people will use their political influence or their social and economic influence to protect the perpetrators as they are revealed.
Let's go to some WhatsApp voice notes coming through on 072 702 1702.
Dumela Clement and your guest, Kingsley from Germiston. I just have two questions, and without trying to trivialize the serious nature of these Epstein files, my first question is, how do we guard against people being sort of put on trial by media simply because their name allegedly appears in the Epstein files? Because I think there's a lot of that happens all the time all over the world, where someone's name is mentioned in the media in relation to something and it hasn't been proven, and yet that person then goes through hell before they've even been put on trial. The second question I want to ask is, I mean, what are the chances of these files being released unabbreviated or unredacted? Because we know that in the United States there's troves and troves of files that have never been released.
Yeah, those are two good questions. Yeah, Dr. Foster, trial by media, because some people, yes, the names are going to appear, but that doesn't necessarily mean they were engaged in the illegal acts. And then also the question about the files and whether they are actually going to be released in their entirety. Will we even ever know what's been destroyed and what hasn't?
Well, the issue around the protection of the alleged perpetrators, and where the media, the suggestion is that the media will provide or, be responsible for misinformation around this. Or, I think that in these files, and I've said it earlier on, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't. And also the evidence that they have now, I believe that the media will report on the available evidence that there is of people having had associations with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was not involved in good and healthy, business activities. He actually ran an international child sex trafficking ring. And for people to have been associated with him, they would have had some part in that. Now, that part, as I said, is even if they haven't actually physically, sexually abused children, and there'll be question marks around that, they have protected him. And protection of somebody who's involved in criminal activity is in itself a heinous crime. So I think in some cases, there are, we do hear of people that have come, have faced the trial of, by their peers, as it were, and suffered, irreparable damage. But in the case of sexual crimes, that hardly ever happens. I must say, I can't even think of somebody where, that has happened, where they've been accused and then they've, not been guilty of it. I think that for me would be an anomaly. And we have to look at what we call survivor-centered responses. Look at the survivors of these crimes. Look at the impact of what's happened to them and ask the question about how does one bring justice and accountability to those people, that have really suffered and continue and will suffer. I mean, the fact that the one woman, that accused the former Prince Andrew of having had sex with her, committed suicide this year. She was in her 40s, and the fact that she was actually doing quite well, she had found a solace in the work that she was doing and then committed suicide. That's a clear impact of what that abuse experience did to her. So we want fairness, justice, and accountability for those women, and that's where we should focus our attention.
Yeah, and let's hope when these files get released, they really, really get released, all of them, and we don't have a redacted version of the files. Dr. Leslie Ann Foster, founder and director of Masi Manyane Women's Right International. Thank you so much for speaking to us. It's exactly 11:30. Bali has the latest in Eyewitness News headlines. Good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. We begin with news just in. The EFF's Ntabiseng Chibenga has resigned with immediate effect as a councillor and speaker of the Ekurhuleni City Council. EWN understands that her resignation stems from a fallout with EFF Gauteng chairperson Kulego Dunga as well as councillor Julius Mkonazi. While the DA in Tshwane has opened a fraud case against the city's deputy mayor and finance MMC Eugene Modise at the Brooklyn police station today, a forensic report recently tabled to council found Modise unethically benefited from a company doing business with the municipality. And murder accused Tiffany Meek will spend Christmas and New Year in custody after her pre-trial hearing at the Johannesburg High Court was postponed on Tuesday. The matter has been postponed to the 26th of January to allow Meek's newly appointed lawyer time to be furnished with the case docket. Meek, who has been in custody since July, is facing 5 charges, including newly added counts of child abuse and neglect linked to the death of her 11-year-old son, Jaden Lee Meek. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at midday or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Travelling on the N3 North, we still have got heavy traffic volumes between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange. This is due to roadworks. They are they're causing heavy delays, so please be on the lookout there. And if we are looking at the M2 West, queuing traffic between Boyson's Road and the Crown Interchange, an accident has been reported right after Elof Street, so please approach with care. Speaking of accident scenes, so we still have got that one on the N12 East, right near the N1 exit. Delays coming out of the Golden Highway. Delays also in Devland along the Golden Highway between Union Avenue and the N1 exit. While on the N3 North, we've got some delays reported between Van Buren Road and the Kilulis interchange. That's due to an accident scene there, so please be on the lookout and drive with care. I'm Amo Ramela, and that's your last traffic update from me. Karabo Jali will have your next report from the top of the hour onwards. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
Are there some local authorities or provincial bodies that are actually ignoring your deregistration and giving people this work anyway?
No, we have not experienced that. In fact, because these become part of a national government gazette, in fact, clients have been coming forward to us to saying they want to terminate certain projects because they've noted our efforts of deregistration. And we are quite public with the companies that we've deregistered because it's against the law. It's deemed irregular to appoint a contractor that is not in good standing with the CIDB grading.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
If you think you cannot afford a lawyer, think again. Clientele Legal has made professional legal services affordable. You receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. Our range of plans include cover for you, your spouse, children, and extended family. Plans include cover for civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Whether it's protection orders, gender-based violence, uncontested divorce, or poor service, your Clientele Legal lawyer will be there to assist you. Our services are convenient. Simply pick up the phone and call your lawyer or send us an email and we'll get back to you. All plans include a bail benefit of up to 5,000 rand and we'll go to the police station and pay it for you. Plus, Clientele Legal offers you 24-hour telephonic legal advice. SMS Legal to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Solve the spinning saga with Hollywood Bet's Spinazonke Mystery Parcel. Dive into a world of secret escapes and magical marvels, and you could win a share of 1 million rand in cash and bonus bets. Bet 2 rand or more on selected Playtech games and get lost in the scintillating suspense every Wednesday from 2:30 to 8:30 p.m. and Sunday from 4:30 to 10:30 p.m. Ready to unleash your winning streak? Log in and bet now.
T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Listen up, corporates. Wrap up your tax year on a meaningful note by donating to DKMS. Your support assists in fighting life-threatening blood cancers by enabling DKMS to recruit more potential donors as well as raising patients' chances of finding a match. And there's an added advantage. enjoy the benefits of a Section 18A tax certificate, which grants your company a well-deserved rebate. Be a force for good this tax season by giving those in need a new lease on life. Email fundraising at dkms-africa.org to donate today.
The Sharing Space
On the Clement Manyathela Show.
702.
25 minutes before 12 o'clock, time for the sharing space. This is where we share our stories. We share anything that's happened in your office, at home, maybe when you were driving to work this morning. The way to share your stories is to send us an email on cm@702.co.za. That's cm@702.co.za. So today we've got an email from one of our listeners. I'm going to read it, and then you know the drill. Afterwards, give us a call on 011-883-0702 if you've experienced something similar, or maybe you want to advise the listener if they are also asking for advice. You can send your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. So here we go. Hi, Clement, and your listeners. I have been seeing a very heavy conversation on social media talking about children not acknowledging the children their fathers had out of wedlock. And it was sparked by Mariah Carey's child saying she has only one sibling, even though her dad has many children. This conversation is heavy for me because I am an only child, fathered by a man who has 3 children with his wife. I am his firstborn. My mom and my dad were not dating, but they were involved in a fling. My dad then married his wife soon after, and they had their 3 children. My mom has since passed on, and I'm left all alone. I've tried for years to get my dad and my siblings to acknowledge me. My stepmom has never really spoken to me. She did send condolences when my mom passed, but that was it. My dad has come to visit me maybe twice a year in the past, especially around the festive season when I was young, but we really don't have a strong relationship. My siblings have always been receptive to my efforts whenever I reach out, but they never initiate communication. Life is really lonely for me, and it hurts because I have half siblings and a dad who just refuses to make an effort to be around me. Besides my aunt and my few cousins, I basically have no one else. Should I keep trying to forge a relationship with my dad and siblings, or should I leave them alone? Anonymous. Okay. This is quite a tricky situation for Anonymous. So she has got half siblings. She's the firstborn to her dad. Her mom and her dad were not involved. They had a fling, and her mom fell pregnant, and her dad went and married somebody else. So chances are the dad was already in a relationship with somebody else when he had a fling with her mom. And the consequence of that is that the dad used to come visit her, on Christmas, maybe bring her money for clothes. But that was it. As soon as the dad got married, it looks like he wasn't allowed, or he chose not to be involved in her life. Her mom is now passed, and she feels like she's left alone. She's tried to reach out to her half siblings, but nothing is really coming out. Like, the half siblings are not really entertaining her. She always is the one that must make an effort. And she's asking if she should keep trying to forge a relationship with her dad and the siblings, or should she just leave them alone? What advice do you have for Anonymous? And I'd like to hear from people who have been in similar shoes before, right? Slightly similar shoes before, because there are many people out there who have got half siblings. And the siblings who, let's use this analogy. Dad married, has got siblings. So the half siblings in the married home normally would not pay attention to the sibling who is outside of the marriage. How do you manage things like that? How do you manage relationships with half siblings, especially when maybe you were born out of wedlock. Maybe their father cheated and you were born, or their father had you and you were born. In fact, even in marriages it happens where a man will have a family and have, let's say, 2 kids, right, with that family, in that family, and then there's a divorce that happens, and then dad gets married again and has children with the new wife, and for some reason the other kids would feel left out because dad is now focusing on his new family, his new marriage. These are dynamics that really happen in our society. Give us a call on 011-883-0702. And how do you advise Anonymous to continue here? Must she keep on pushing to try and have a relationship with his dad? Because chances are the wife also doesn't want doesn't want the dad to be involved with the child. There's a possibility. How do you manage that? Do you give up when you are the one constantly trying? Or do you keep on pushing? Please give Anonymous some advice. Otherwise, please share your own experiences if you've been in the same shoes.
Hi, Clement. Ngoni Ranbek here. I think Anonymous should not just look at the dead and the half-siblings. I think the dead has got also brothers, sisters, and parents or other relations that might be interested in having a relationship with her. So she should pursue the other ones beyond these immediate ones.
Sure, Clemza, I lived the same situation as Anonymous. Anonymous must not worry. She must just live her own life, leave them alone, continue, build your own family, start your own traditions, and do not look back. If he doesn't want anything to do with you, it's fine. He will come back on his deathbed. They all do. He or she has nothing to worry about. Just live your own life, leave the siblings. Just, if people don't want to be in your life, do not force them.
Clement, there's a saying in Sepedi or Sesotho Setswana. It says, "Senkhanang sentula morwalo." Yeah. What she must do, she must just ignore them. She's not part of them. And then study how, I do not know. She must improve herself, sharpen her life, and continue with life. Yeah. Now, the problem is we don't know how old that person is. You understand? Yeah, if she's still young, then it's a problem. But if he's above 18, no, I don't. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't think Anonymous is saying that she needs some kind of assistance from the dad. She's not asking for money. She's not asking for help. She's just saying, I would like to have a relationship with my father. And since he started this new family, I don't really know him. He doesn't care much about me. I mean, if you're a man and you've got a child who is older than the children you have in your family, I mean, the very least you can do, the responsible thing to do is to at least acknowledge that, and if possible, introduce your children to their big sister, especially if there's no drama around it. I mean, the Anonymous doesn't seem like she's bringing drama. She's just saying, I'm the first child and I just want a relationship with my dad or with my half siblings. I mean, for her to be the one that actually goes out of her way to reach out to the half siblings, and Wena as their father, you've not even thought about that? Noni, you're calling us from Johannesburg. Good morning.
Hi, Clemzo.
Sure.
My comment is just that I'm also a child who was born when my mother was a teenager and my father was also very young. They never got married.
Yeah.
My father then went on to get married and had other children. I don't know them.
Yeah.
They were much, much younger than me. So I've never made contact as well, simply because I didn't know their whereabouts. I don't know their mothers. It's a whole complicated story. But my thing is that I was blessed to have a very loving grandmother who's my mother's mom, my aunt, For me, that's the family I have. My paternal family, I have no contact with. So the fact that your caller is the one who keeps making contact and the father is not doing anything, because in this instance the father's the older one, right? He should be uniting them if he has interest in them being united. So if she's one who keeps making contact and they don't reciprocate the same kind of longing for her, she must stick to the people who wants to be in her life. Like she said, there's no one apart from her aunt and her cousins. Those are her family. The other ones, yes, they are family, but they don't have any desire to reach out or to unite.
Yeah.
So it's just going to keep breaking her heart.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Noni.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt any longing, Noni, to know about like your half siblings?
Not at all. People looking for their dad, and my future would be brighter without my dad. I've never. I felt like I was the luckiest girl being raised by my dad, even now, by my grandmother. Even now, I feel like, oh well, if you wanted to be in my life, she would have been in life. And I mean, my grandmother made my life really, like, you know. So
oh, bless
I
her.
don't feel it. When I see them, I'm happy, you know. But it's
Okay, Noni, thank you so much for sharing your story, and bless your grandmother. You've got the love, and advice from Noni is anonymous. Just be with the people who love you. Spend time with the people who love you. That's it.
Clement, morning. Thanks for this great topic. I mean, most people, they forget that there was this labor migration, from the rural areas to come and work in the mines and stuff. So a lot of our parents, great parents, left their kids kumahaying, and then they started families here. So why didn't they object when they grew up? Like, okay, I'm not going to be interested. So what has changed now in the 20th century or the 21st century? So to me, that doesn't make sense. Just accept people for who they are. Everybody's got flaws. Maybe your dad is also a child out of wedlock. So, yeah, thanks.
Hi, Clementos. There is no advice above this. Trust me, I'm living that pain where I'm trying so hard to connect with my half siblings, and they just, even my half family. What hurts me the most is my house was 10 minutes away from my father, but he went and fetched all his children from Limpopo, from Mpumalanga, from everywhere else, and lived with them. And when I started looking for him, that very same year, he died before I could find out who he was. And now I'm struggling to connect or reconnect, and I'm his only son. All the other kids are girls. And somehow I think they are threatened by me, and because he was a rich guy or something, I think they think I know him or knew him, but I didn't. So to reconnect with half siblings is something painful. People can tell you to move on. You can't move on from it. You can't, because it's a part of you that you are being denied. It's sad. I hope Anonymous finds peace. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had a half sibling, I think I would want to reach out. I would reach out to them. In fact, I think there's a time I've probably asked. Either I had a conversation with my brother about it, or asked my mom, like, is there a child outside that you know of from my dad? Because I would want to reach out, and I've been the first child, and I've always wanted like a older sister or older brother. So I get what you're saying, because hypothetically speaking, I think if I were in those shoes, I really would want to find my half sister or my half brother. More of your calls and WhatsApps after the break. It's 11 minutes before 12.
At Checkers, we do more so you get extra this Christmas with over 2 billion rand in festive savings. Like Parmalat Everfresh Long Life Milk, a 1 litre 6-pack for $89.99. And Twin Saver 2-ply white toilet rolls, 24-pack for $159.99. Plus, stand a chance to win your share of 7 million rand in prizes. Simply buy any 3 qualifying products and swipe your extra savings card to enter. Valid until Sunday at Checkers. T&Cs apply.
Some numbers break
bring instant stress, like a speeding fine, another petrol price hike, or that one debit order you forgot about again. But not all numbers bring panic. Some bring calm and actual life-saving support. With 24/7 emergency support and over 300 ambulances, ER24 is there when you need us most. Don't wait for an emergency. See it, say it, save it. 084 124.
To walk the talk is to turn words into meaningful actions. And it's what we at 702 are committed to doing every day. We are also committed to following the rules set out by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission's Code of Conduct to give you balanced programming, fair comments, and accurate news. But if we stumble along the way and you feel we are not living up to the code, let us know on comment@702.co.za. And if after that you're still not happy, you can direct your complaint in writing to the Broadcasting Complaints Commission. Email bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more, visit bccsa.co.za.
The Sharing Space
on the Clement Manyathela Show.
702.
9 minutes before 12 o'clock. Let's go back to your WhatsApps.
Hi, Clement. I feel sorry for Anonymous. It's sad because the dad should be the responsible one who takes that effort because this is his child. And a lot of men may come for me for this one, but over the years, with experience as well, I've noticed that men tend to give attention to the kids of the woman they're in love with. It doesn't matter whether they're biological or not. They might leave their biological kids and go focus on stepchildren and give them no more attention than their own kids. It happens quite a lot. Yeah.
Hi, Clement. It's so sad. We do really tend to want a sense of belonging. I remember when I was in varsity, I used to call my dad, and he never used to call back. Up until his own father asked me, "What do you want from this man? I mean, what is there that you want? Because your mother's providing so much." But it's just that sense of knowing, sense of belonging. You'd think I'd leave it there. No, when I was 18, I went to go and find him at his home. And I got there, Clement, and I realized I didn't miss out on much. My grandparents really provided a loving home for me. My uncles loved me dearly and still do. My aunts, they provided such a great environment for me that I've never ever fell short of love. And I got to realize that I actually didn't miss out on much. To be honest, I didn't miss out on much. Even the children that he had, that he was living with, oh my gosh. He wasn't a great father, not even to his own children. But I've got a relationship with some of his children, and they're great people, and I appreciate them. But sometimes I even forget about that mention. Sorry.
Hello, Clement. Loretta here from Alberton. Clement, I am in the exact same situation. I was my mother and dad didn't really have a fling, but they had a relationship at school. I was the result of that, and then they both went to marry on both sides. On my mother's side of the family, my stepdad treats me differently, and on my on the side of my father couldn't care less. But the children that are born within the wedlock, which is my young brother, they can do no wrong. Everything he does is correct. He may have weaknesses. He may talk to my dad however way. It's never a problem. It's only a problem when it comes to me. So, yeah. One time I used to cry a lot, and I used to find myself in very awkward situations until I decided I'm going to accept. I'm literally going to accept the situation and move on.
Sure, yeah, because what else can you do, hey? What else can you do? I don't get it. Why is it so easy to love the children in the marriage and not the children that you had before you got married? Why? Is it the shame of, okay, that was out of wedlock? Because your child is your child, surely. Whether you had that child when you were 16 or you had that child when you were 40, whether you had that child when you were married, that child is your child and that child is innocent. At the very least, they deserve your acknowledgement. At the very least, some care from you.
Hello, Clement. This is Kamela from Pretoria. You can't force people to be your family. It has to be natural. The more she pushes on trying to make them family, the more it's going to hurt. I think we as Africans, we tend to overemphasize the role of family. You can only be family to people who accept you as family. Now, if family by genes is so important, then what happens to adopted children then? So what we mean is that they can be a real family. Depends on how you treat each other, whether they accept you as family or not. Whether you are related by blood or not, it doesn't matter. So she must just move on and leave those people alone.
Hi, Clement. My advice to Anonymous is just move on with your life. Like, honestly, move on with your life. Concentrate on your life. Build your own family. I don't know how old Anonymous is, but like, if you're married, concentrate on your kids, your family. That is your first family, because you can't waste time trying to connect with people who don't want to connect with you. You are going to connect, and then after connecting, they're just going to break your heart. We are already struggling with our blood siblings. Like, honestly, our blood siblings are doing the most. So now imagine a half siblings, step siblings. Like, just concentrate on your life, honestly. My blood siblings are a problem. They exclude me on everything. And I've come to terms with that. I've come to peace with that. I'm moving on with my life, my kids, my family, my husband. That's it. That's enough for me. And that's my family. At least less Christmas presents, less birthday presents and all. Yeah.
So hi, Clement. Thank you for the show. So I have a half-sister. My father had a child out of wedlock. Before he died, he told me, this is my daughter. You have got to connect. But my mother, before she died, she used to say no. Now, being the firstborn, I've encountered the stress that my younger brother has given me. I'm scared to reach out because I'm scared I might get the same, like double for my trouble. So I don't know what advice you can give me there.
Aubrey Masango.
Weekday evenings,
8 to midnight.
All of the stories that we are made to believe are the important story. We can talk about Trump and his lies about a white genocide in South Africa, expropriation of white people's land. This is absolute lies. But actually, the story is about minerals. You go to the Middle East, you go and speak to the people of Iraq, you speak to the people of Iran. It's always been about the minerals. And it does not help that the governments of those countries are not doing the basics right. What it does is that it gives the lie amplification.
Aubrey Masango.
8 to midnight on 702.
702.
When it comes to protecting your workforce, trust the workwear brand that has been protecting workers for over 150 years, Sweetall. Sweetall has overalls and uniform solutions for every industry, so your team is safe, comfortable, and ready to tackle any challenge. Visit our new Boksburg showroom, shop A1 Atlas Road, Westwood, Boksburg, or go to sweetall.com today. Sweetall, we never let you down. Superior protective workwear since 1871.
Whether it is a CCMA referral, problems with a mechanic, unfair blacklisting, or an uncontested divorce, Clientele Legal offers professional legal services to all South Africans. Our plans are affordable, and you receive up to 745,000 rand worth of legal services per year. We cover civil, criminal, and labor-related matters. Our nationwide legal teams are standing by to support you 24 hours a day. Plus, all plans include a 5,000 rand bail benefit. Join today. SMS LEGAL to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
You want to build a quality home, the eye-catching jewel of the town, but your personality type is bargain hunter. It's only been 2 months and your quality home is the neighborhood nightmare. So abantu bazotini, about the peeling paint that you call abstract art, the cracked walls that look like frown lines. Skip the embarrassment and the hunting. Make smarter decisions for your home. Visit Cashbuild online to order quality cement, paint, and more at the lowest prices. Cashbuild.
Coming up next, the midday report with Jane Dutton in from Indiana. How are you doing, Jane?
Very good, thank you.
What's popping today?
Mkhotsi, we heard that he's linked to the CIA. Now we're hearing about Julius Mkonazi being trained by the FBI. We've got incredible people in our security forces. So we're going to be dipping back into his discussions at the Madlanga inquiry. He's been telling us about his relationship with Kat Matlala, and Katisa Molefe's murder case has been moved up to the High Court. So it just shows you how serious it is and raises questions how something like that can be out on R500,000 bail.
Yeah, I still get surprised that that man is still out there knowing what we know about him now. All right, that's that and much more on the Midday Report with Jane Dutton. Thank you for listening to the Wednesday edition of the Clement Manyathela Show. We'll be back with you tomorrow between 9 and 12. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. We begin with news just in. The EFF's Ntabiseng Chivenga has resigned with immediate effect as a councillor and speaker of the Ekurhuleni City Council. EWN understands that her resignation stems from a fallout with EFF Gauteng chairperson Kulego Dunga and councillor Julius Mkonazi. Despite all three belonging to the same party, they have had public spats during recent council sittings. Alfara Mushwana has more.
You are very right that I've taken a ruling, and Rule 67 says